All right, what is going on, everyone? How are we doing today? Thank you all for hanging in there. We are live for the dandadan character tier list. We'll give it a moment just for everyone to pop in. Might just take another minute or so once everyone gets that notification. What's up, Taishim? What's up, the real camper? How we're here. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. And I have a special guest with me today. I've got the man, the myth, the legend himself, DJ Miles. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. Yes, because so how are you enjoying Blue Lock? Let me go ahead. Let me actually I might have to let me see. Can you talk again for me real quick? Let me fix this audio. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Talk one more time for
I
me.
can plug in.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
It's me.
check, check.
All
Okay,
right. All
check,
right. So
check. One,
yeah,
two,
so
three.
I got you. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, so you tell me how you're feeling about Blue Lock lately. I still haven't caught up, but I know you started your
Oh,
Blue Lock journey, and so you mentioned
sure.
chemical reactions. Let me know. Here's a question: who's your favorite striker? Let's start off with that. Who's your favorite? That's how I'll judge you
Oh,
for the rest of the stream.
oh, man, it's hard, bro. You know what's crazy? Okay, I'm gonna just give you the basic answer, but this is a question kind of like when people say who's your favorite One Piece character. I legitimately don't have a favorite character in One Piece because I just, it really had just been an ensemble cast. And that's how I look at Blue Lock. There are certain characters I definitely enjoy more than others. But I really like all of them for their different reasons, right? But if you said it, if you had to point a gun in my head and say like pick one, I think it would be Isagi because I think the way Isagi
Okay.
uh, grows in the game and how he really puts in effort to develop as a character as the story continues growing. It never seems as bullshit as compared to other characters and their power-ups,
Okay.
like because you look at someone like Baru, right? Like Baru is the taller guy with that big, like, spiky hair or whatever. He's just a big physical beast. So whenever he awakens or he unlocks something new within him, it's like, yeah, because he's a massive guy. Isagi's not like that. Isagi is short. He's not physically powerful. He's not known for like dribbling like Bachira or having, he has his direct shot, but like that's a direct shot near the penalty line, near the penalty box, right? So it's not like these other crazy abilities and attributes these other characters have. I feel like Isagi really puts in the work, and when you see him develop in real time how to overcome the obstacles and tribulations he has, I think that's all the more rewarding. Like if it feels very rewarding rooting for Isagi, uh, coming more a bit of a dick right now, and I'm like, well, that's kind of the point with Blue Lock, So yeah,
That's
man.
interesting. I fully believe that you can
Mhm.
tell a lot about a person by the Blue Lock character that they deem their favorite. So that's why I asked. I know this isn't a Blue Lock stream, but I thought I was curious
Yeah.
because personally mine is my favorite is Bachira. I know he's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah. I love
the
it.
as top in terms of skill, or I don't know, I'm not caught up, so I don't know if anything has changed yet. But like I just love his personality. I love that kind of goofy, just like, he's just every time he does something, he reminds me like a Spider-Man almost. You know what I mean? Where like not exactly, but like he's always got something funny to say, and when he's doing something crazy, he's just making it just funny more than it is like serious. So that's what but he also has the monster inside of him. He's just a badass. So I like
Yeah.
Bachira.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um
no, without spoilers, yeah, he's definitely a bit of a badass. And I see Taishim says King is his favorite. Yeah, that's the thing. So last year, funny story. I promise we'll get to Don. Um, when I broke up with my girlfriend and I was going through like that hardship, right? I'm perfectly fine now. I
mhm.
remember there's a point where I had to channel my inner King, and I'm like, how would King like? What would King do? How would he react to this if his ex who broke up with him is constantly texting him, right? Like King doesn't fucking he wouldn't deal with that nonsense. So oddly enough, he really got me in a good reframing where I'm like, no, 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 I don't got time for this. I gotta do shit with my life. I'm not dealing with
I
this.
feel that
So yeah, shout
honestly
out to the ball. Yeah.
it's crazy like how like that's one of my favorite things about anime and manga is like when you can really like find a way to like improve yourself a little bit by seeing like how you can relate to a character and find a way to like okay, like that's like obviously like it's not so much as like I'm going to be this character, but it's just like taking lessons or taking like certain things that you can see in characters being like, okay, I'm going to integrate this a little bit into myself. And like those are like the best characters that you're able to relate to, and they're able to teach you something that you wouldn't have been able to learn yourself. I feel like Blue Lock does that in a
Mhm.
great way. And that's
Yeah.
like what I mean by like your favorite character kind of determines and says a lot about you, because there's someone for everybody. Like you said, it's an ensemble cast. Like there's literally someone and a different personality type for everybody. But we're not here to
Yeah.
yap about Blue Lock. We're here to yap about dandadan today. So
All
I
right.
guess to transition, we are going to go into like a full tier list, of course, and everything like that, and we're going to go through every single character. So I guess instead of asking you what your favorite character is to break the ice on dandadan, what I would ask you is, what's your favorite arc? Out of every single one, if you had to choose. I know there's probably two or three that are usually obvious picks for everybody, but
Yeah. 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 I mean, come on. This is like you asking me my favorite arc in Chainsaw Man, right? It's International Assassins followed by Bomb Girl, and I feel like with Dandadan, it's kind of the similar answer. It's the space globalist, without a
yeah,
doubt. I think that's
yeah.
my personal favorite one. Yeah,
You really can't
yeah,
beat
and
it.
I think yeah, and I think the Curse House arc is second because I think that's the first time within the narrative where now things kind of like really ramp up, right? In terms of the narrative structure, where you're like, okay, here's Gigi, but here's the evil eye and the worm, and it's like, oh, there's stakes now, you know?
Yeah, the anime has done a great job too in adapting that entire arc. It's actually been insane. I still have to watch that new episode that came out, but yeah,
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, you know what? Let me take that back. Not the Curse House arc. I would say Space Globalist first, followed by Dan Monra second. That arc is
yeah.
actually pretty fire.
Dan
Yeah,
Monra
yeah.
is really. I reread Don Monra like a couple months back, and I appreciated it a lot more on a second read through. I When I was reading it
Mhm.
weekly, I was kind of like, all right, like what's going on? What's the point of this? But like,
Yeah.
and then once you read it again all over, I'm like, fuck, this really was such a really good arc. And the way that, like, personally, I think the arc that we're in right now for the story is going to
Yeah.
be potentially even way better than Space Globalist, to be honest with you. Like the whole, at
Ooh,
least the whole
yeah.
Kozuka knife saga, like in general, like everything that's
Yeah.
gearing up story wise with Count Saint Germain and
Mhm.
everything like that, just genuinely seems like it's Yuki Nobutatsu is in his bag right now with like everything that's
Yeah.
been going on lately.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not afraid
Yeah.
to have fun.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to the series, right? Like it's so crazy how like I still don't know where it's going, and they still keep on adding characters to the cast. It's like, bro, we have just as many people now like we do in Luffy's crew in One Piece. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We keep adding new cast of characters, and they're still so good. Like we'll get to her, but Koki Yukishiro is such a great addition of a character. Like I love it. Um
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so we might as well get started here. Really quickly before
Okay.
I forget, just want to say the stream is sponsored by Gamersubs. Gamersubs.gg/noop for 10% off. Use the code, use the link, or if you've never tried it before, you can get your free samples. So I highly recommend it. Have you ever tried Gamersubs before, DJ Miles?
I think I have in the past. Yeah. So
Okay.
I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think my sister had some. So yeah, yeah. It's get all them vitamins, no crash out.
See, there you go. You know what? See,
Definitely
you
worth
do know. You do know. Genuinely.
it.
But
Hmm.
yeah, we'll move on. But thank you, Gamer Sub. Shout out again. Link is in the pin message in the stream. Use it. Nice, good vitamins, good nootropics. I'm literally drinking some right now. Got some raw meat as a flavor. It's actually better than it sounds, trust me. Um
Okay.
but anyway, let's get into so first things first, we've got acrobatic silky up here. So a lot of these are going to be the
Mhm.
yokai, it seems, up first, and the yokai, unlike the aliens, the yokai usually get some kind of demon slayer-esque like backstory towards the end
Yeah,
of it, where
backstory.
we have to redeem the villain in some way, shape, or form, or just understand how they got this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
acrobatic silky for a lot of people is like that big moment where like like you're reading Dandan, you're like, oh wow, like I didn't think this was gonna make me cry. Like I didn't think this was gonna fuck me up, because like her story is like one of the saddest stories, and like that one scene of her doing like the dancing on the rooftop. I think I've seen everybody and their
Yeah.
mother post on Twitter at some point during their Dandadan read through.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, it's hard, man. So it's hard to like. I kind of want to put her in S tier. I don't know if this is already setting the benchmark. I think at minimum it's A, because I think now I don't know if you're gonna readjust later on. If this is a one and done, I'm okay with putting in S, but A I think is like I wouldn't go any lower than A.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think her backstory is tragic. I think that's personally for me when I was reading the manga, that's the first time now where it's like, okay, cool. Turbo Granny was one thing. Here's this wacky, kooky story, and then you read like that backstory, and I'm like, wow, this shit is fucking deep. I didn't know Don Don was gonna get deep, and they
Literally.
consistently do that with these characters. I laughed when you said Demon Slayer backstories. It's the truth, you know. So like when we get to Umbrella Boy Unji, right? Like,
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
dude, that whole backstory is just horrible. So yeah, I don't know about you. I think Acrobatic Soki's an A, bare
Yeah,
minimum.
I completely agree. At least an A, maybe move up to an S. Yeah, I think Acrobatic Silky is like such a great follow up arc to like Turbo Granny and like everything, and it happens right before the main like Serpoan arc too. So it's like it's just like it like you said, it shows you what you're getting into with this series almost immediately, and you kind of see glimpses of it like a little bit with like we're about to get into like the Earthbound Spirit Crab, which isn't really one of the most memorable, but you see like in the beginning where it's like, oh, like it's a spirit made up of all the murdered women that Turbo Granny was trying to save. Like you see a little bit of it, but you're right. Acrobatic Silky is the first time where you're like, oh wow, this series can be something that I didn't expect it to be, which is like the series that's all about the getting Okaru's testicles back. Like you're like, I did not expect this from this kind of manga. So yeah, I agree, it's an A. Even like the short little
Mhm.
fight and like everything that they have with Okaru and Momo, and like her connection to Ira, and like the way that Ira ends up just using her powers later. I think she served her purpose. Like it really is one of those like tried and true, really good second arcs that like really paves the way for the rest of the series.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I agree.
And then like Earthbound Spirit Crab, I kind of mentioned it a little bit, like the backstory of it being like all the murdered girls that Turbo Granny was saving. And I think like as like an introduction to
Yeah.
the series, it works really well. But like, do you have any thoughts?
Nothing much. I mean, I feel like
Your
you said
face, you were
everything there's needed to say, right?
not about this fucking crab, no.
Yeah, just the crowd. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's like D or F tier worthy. I mean, yeah, it's an introduction to the series of what
C
we are
for
about to jump
crab.
into. Yeah, I think C is fine. Yeah.
So I guess with that being said, I'm assuming you
Mhm.
probably have way more to say about the evil eye going forward.
Yeah, the evil eye, man, another twisted backstory. I mean, we come off the cusp of acrobatic Silky, and we're like, wow, this is a mother who dealt with everything and she got this horrible hand. And then we look at a little boy who got tied to a post and was burned alive by lava, or what, it was, a fire or something like that.
Yeah, lava.
Yeah, dude, it doesn't get any more graphic than that. So
Ugh.
you can see why this vengeful spirit is really pissed off at these at the Nico family, right?
Keto.
Is that what they're called? Oh, Keto. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, at the Keto family. So, uh, yeah, I'm not too crazy about like the look, right? Like the little tall dangling, like I don't know. I think it fits the aesthetic of like a creepy spirit for sure. But
The
one
design
of the ones that,
definitely peaks when he possesses Gigi for sure. The regular
yeah,
yokai form is a little
yeah, uh, yeah. I mean, that's all I got to say. I don't know if you got any more thoughts on
Yeah, I
this
mean,
dude.
you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like its backstory is just again, the classic Dandadan, like having just 'cause the thing about Dandadan is it's not sad just to be sad. Like there is definitely meaning and depth to a lot of the stories that Yukinobu like puts in. Like the idea of the evil eye representing what can happen when just small villages or small towns or just like neighborhoods of people are not only just like easily fall into like old traditions and how they can easily like get swayed just to save themselves from a volcano which wasn't even actually saving them. They were sacrificing, willing to sacrifice children and strip away children of their like innocence and their childhood. It was just sad. um
Mhm.
and what I do like about the evil eye too is you see like especially when he after he possesses Gigi and as he continues on in the story, like it's so cool in my opinion how much you can tell like he is just a kid. Like when he's just inside of Gigi, he just wants to play, he just wants to have fun. Like he only ends up agreeing to like fight Okarun on Tuesday, every Tuesday, because he's has fun fighting Okarun. All right, I'm willing to put off world domination for now. um and then
Mhm.
like as he
Mhm.
grows, like he will like accidentally show up and possess Gigi during a school day. And what does he do? He just like goes
Yeah.
out his day through school and like draws random shit and just like drinks chocolate milk. Like he is just a kid
Mhm.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're all the way caught up and if you've been reading weekly, but
I am. I
yeah,
am.
the development that he's just recently gotten has just been
Mhm.
absolutely like huge. That now like he's not just like being this kid and like doing and like a kind of being a somewhat ally. Like now he's even like starting to like
Yeah.
consider these people his family almost, which is like insane.
Yeah, yeah, and it's cool that you basically tame this like young vengeful spirit because Turbo Granny is like, yeah, this is how strong this person is, this the spirit is as a kid. You
Yeah.
don't want to see it what it's going to be fully matured, and I think the latest chapters of like basically Gigi and the relationship he has with the evil eye now, it's like cool. I expect like another two more power ups, assuming dandadan continues more and more, right? Like as the story develops, I can see like even another transformation that down the road during the climax of this series.
100%.
Right, because
100.
I feel like it'd be a bit of a missed opportunity if we don't see what a fully mature evil eye spirit can be. But I don't know. I guess we jumping into the semantics of timelines, like timelines and all that stuff. But either or, I think it's cool that this is basically Gohan. Gohan has a lot of potential, so I can't wait to see how
I
the
love that.
Gohan develops as the
That's
story
so
continues.
funny. Yeah, Gigi literally,
Yeah.
yeah, Gigi and Evil Eye working together was something that was definitely great to see. And yeah, I think Evil Eye has been great. I don't know if you'd be willing to give. I mean, like, I don't know if that'd be our first S tier. Uh, what do you
Ooh,
think?
ooh. Oh, you want him in S tier?
I really, really like the Evil Eye in the grand scheme of Don to Don. Like, not as like I don't know if I'd put Evil Eye as like an S tier in like overall fiction, but like I think is like in the grand
Okay.
scheme of Don to Don, it's
Yeah, yeah.
probably he's
Dandadan.
probably one of the top, probably one of the top tier characters. No, but I'm maybe I don't know.
Mm, okay,
At least an A. At least
there's
A.
some glazing going on. I like him. I don't like him that much, but I think he's
Okay.
A. I think he's a solid A.
Okay.
I think he's a solid A. If you want to put him in S tier, this is your live stream. So,
Okay. You know
but
what? You know
I
what?
think he's A. I think he's A.
I think A
I
is
think he's A. But
reliable.
yeah, yeah.
But what?
No, no, no. I was gonna say if we can jump into the next character.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Let's hear
so
it.
so this is what makes Dandadan interesting because like I think the slit mouth woman is S tier because this is
Ooh.
a crazy spirit that came out of nowhere that fucks shit up. You know, this was something that we see in the beginning of the Space Globalist arc, thinking it was kind of like a nonsensical spirit, and then throughout the course of the arc is like telling Momo like, "Hey, if you don't confess your love to Okarun, I'm basically just gonna like kill you both or whatever." So it's like, okay, I kind of take her threat seriously. We see a very small Demon Slayer flashback story of like, okay, something happened with this woman, and this is why she's weird and twisted and demented. But she was in her own little pocket space, just minding her own business. And then when the Kerr and that entire alien race came to the planet Earth, dude, she literally one-shotted all of them with her own domain expansion. You know, that mirror is crazy.
She is like the strongest yokai. Like you feel that, like literally, like just controlled like almost every mirror in like the entire like city, and then just like took the entire space globalist the Kerr invasion in one shot, just punched them all, trapped them in like unreal. Yeah, like that. You're so right. Like Reiko Kashima, like yeah, she's just one of those like random additions and one of those things in Dandadan where just like it's so unpredictable. You just don't you don't know where it's coming, why it's even there, but like when it actually pays off, it's so satisfying. Like it's so funny because like it starts off so randomly with her like her and Vamola getting haunted by her and Momo getting
Yeah.
cursed and everything like that, and becomes such an
Mhm.
issue. And then the space globalist arc just takes so much precedence that it's like you almost like completely forget about her, right? And even Momo does. And then
Yeah.
once it's time, she's like, "Wait a minute, what time is it?" And then they realize it's nighttime when the invasion's going on, and she's like, "Oh shit." And like, yeah, I do love that.
Yeah.
Like obviously
Yeah.
you don't see the entire flashback. We just kind of see glimpses of what happened to her, so we can only imagine why she became, you know, the crazy
Mhm.
yokai that she is. But when you're right, when she's like, yeah, you know, you better confess your love to Okarun, because at the end of the day, you know that flashback might have represented. It's like, hey, you don't know what's gonna happen, like you better confess your love now and be in love with Okarun now,
Yeah.
because you have no idea what you guys are going to get into. And you can literally see that happening almost like right now, where they're kind of like they admitted their feelings to each other,
Mhm.
but now they're like putting off making things official because they're like, oh, we have to wait for the right moment, blah blah blah. And then like now, like Momo's small, she might be forgotten. Like there's so much shit going on. Like they're so completely separated. You know, it's just yeah. And like
Yeah.
it's crazy to me to think like, what if she ever comes back? Because she's not gone. She's still just around. Like she could still literally come back in
Yeah,
some way,
she's still
shape, or
around.
form
Yeah.
as just a plot device. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah. Same, 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 same. So to me, I think she's like the first S tier. I don't know. Well, I did say acrobatic Soki earlier too, but I don't know. I guess now I'm looking at this like a power scaling thing. So as a character overall, like, yeah, I think her design is a little goofy. It is a little weird, right? The slit mouth woman, right? That's
Yeah, it's a
what
unique take on the slit mouth
what's her
woman
name?
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's another A tier for sure. How about you? Is this your first S tier, or
No,
you
I
you
think A
prefer
tier.
Evil Eye
This is
more
gonna
over?
be I definitely,
Yeah,
I would say as a character, I probably prefer Evil Eye over Reiko, but
sure,
that's just, but you
sure.
know what? Why I say that is because we have more time with Evil Eye. I'm sure if like Reiko Kashima became like an ally or something, I'd probably feel the exact
Yeah.
same, you know.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know. But I guess Fairy Tale Card is up next, and you know we both kind of talked about
Ooh,
how we like the Don Manra arc, and Fairy Tale Card. I think as a villain, was
yeah.
exceptional. Like I think he was the
Yes. Good.
most cunning and evil.
Troublesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most cunning and evil spirit that the Donanon protagonist team had dealt with up till that point. Like the
Yeah.
space globalist
Yeah.
was like the Serpoans are kind of goofy, you know. They're a threat, definitely. You shouldn't underestimate them, but they are kind of
Mhm.
goofy. Like the space globalist was like the first real alien threat, and then I
Mhm.
believe
Mhm.
the Dunmanra showed us what a real yokai threat can actually be, outside of the Evil Eye, of course. But again, Evil Eye was just a
Yeah.
child, like you said. The Fairy Tale Card is a full-fledged, fully formed evil spirit.
Yeah. The fairy tale card is cunning. He's sinister, and I believed in every moments that like what he was trying to declare and do, like I fully believed it. It wasn't like a half-assed thing. He wasn't trying to be cheeky with the characters, right? Kind of like, you know, how Turbo Granny is with like Momo and Okarun, right? Like they just have that dynamic, right?
Mhm,
The
mhm.
fairy tale card is just pure evil, and so evil in fact that, like, you know, he almost basically you know, he basically like zapped Unji of all of his strength. And then when he had the opportunity to seize and jump onto Rin to take over her body, right? Before like that like faltered, like, dude, he's an opportunist. Like
Yeah.
if he can take it and he can win, he's gonna do it. And I think it's a crazy feat to say that oh my god, why am I blanking out on his name? San Main could not take him by himself and needed the combined strength of everyone to put him down.
Yeah. Literally. One of the like it is just like it's such a tense and high stakes moment that no one would have been able to handle on their own. Not even Count Saint Germain was able to handle that shit. And when
Yeah.
he's a character and a half.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think Fairy Tale Card was absolute peak villain and was one of the best. Like he's so manipulative the way that he completely rearranges the Don Manra box to be a children's card, like I almost said children's card game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged just lives in my head rent free.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a children's box. A children's
Hmm.
board game box, and like it's the fact that like Daiki like got trapped in there, and it was like he was able to
Yeah.
survive, and he was stuck there. He just aged in the world, and he literally, like you
Yeah.
said, he's an opportunist. Like the one he's like, all right, this guy is pointless, threw him out so he could convince other people to come inside. And then as soon as he
Yeah.
got people that would actually help him, he then threw out all the useless people again. He said, I don't fucking need you guys. You
Yeah.
guys are gonna help me. I got people that I need now. So
Yeah.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was very, very smart, very intelligent. It shows you how like manipulative and like dangerous evil spirits can actually be. Because again, we've only dealt with such a low level up until this point.
Yeah, and you know what's wild? I didn't even think about it until you said it earlier indirectly, is that like the current events of the story is ongoing because of the consequences of Don Monra,
Yeah,
right? Like Momo is small, Unji's blind, the Daiki's like getting old as fuck, and we still don't know the solution. And this is more or less coming from the fairy tale card.
yeah, we're still feeling the fluctuations of what he's done to this day. Like that's how like crazy his impact was. That like even though he's technically gone, the effects of what he's done are still felt. Which is like, yeah, it shows you how fucked, and like I said, an actual evil spirit can be when they have full reigns and full power. Um, and yeah,
Uh, arguably, arguably the best antagonist so far.
I think so. Well, so personally, I would probably say, even though we haven't found out everything about him, I just there's just
Sure.
something about Count Saint Germain, man. He is
Mm.
I don't know if you I know a lot I don't know where you sit. I know some people in the community don't even think he's actually a villain, and they think he's just like, he's the good guy secretly, and just everything bad seemingly happens to be fake pointing to him. I don't know where you sit on
Yeah.
that, but
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about it when we get to them. But what are you feeling for the fairy tale card?
Fairy Tale Card, I don't know if I would give him an S either. I just feel like I don't
Mm.
you so you know what? So you know what? So all right, so if we were to put him in A as well, if we were to put him in A as well, you're honestly telling
Okay.
me,
Okay. You know what? Maybe he's high A. Like,
okay,
now I look at like everyone we have. Look, I will throw you a bone if you want to put Evil Eye
thank
as
you. I
S
was
tier
just
because
about to
of the
say that.
overall package. For the overall package, that's fine. That's fine.
I was just about to
Yeah,
say.
I like what we have right now. Okay.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I
Cool.
like
Cool.
it.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
like just looking at Evil Eye next to the three that were like we said like are all
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good villains,
Yeah.
but like Evil Eye just has like the character that goes along with it for sure. I think.
No, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's more of a complete package. I agree.
Do you think the same can be said for Futa or whatchamacallit, Umbrella Boy?
Umbrella Boy Unji here, right? Or yeah. What's the
Futa
yokai's
Zuma.
name?
Well, the yokai's name
Oh,
is Brella Boy, but his brother's name is Futa Zuma, I believe.
mm, okay. Sorry, let me just pull him up real quickly.
No, you're good.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah, crazy, crazy backstory.
Yeah,
Uh, Arguably the best one, and by best I mean the most tragic.
I agree.
Right? I mean, like Acrobatic Silky is like definitely one of the most memorable ones. I feel like this one is insane too.
Hmm.
And I think this one hits a little close to home of maybe the commentary that like, we know with the Japanese workforce and how, hey, like overworking and overstressing, like that's not a problem. And it's like, no, we see firsthand this guy literally overworked himself to death. As a result, now the mom is struggling with these two kids who are optimistic, who had a bright future. And then, what happened when society and, life beat you up? The mom almost wanted to take her and her son out after the drowning of her youngest son,
Good
right? It's
lord. And it took him
dude,
on like a
saying
dog's
all that stuff
last
out loud is
day
crazy,
too,
dude.
bro. Like it's
Yeah,
insane to me. Like he's like, "Oh, you want to go to the amusement park? You want to go to we're not going to need any of this money where we're going. No worries. Like let's just fucking have a blasty
yeah,
blast today." That yeah, that fucking and just to the cut to him like smiling and then he's like
yeah,
fucking crying as he's like trying to pull his mom off of him. She's
yeah,
dragging him onto the train tracks. Like Jesus
yeah, dude.
Christ. Like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's crazy,
I
man. That
remember
whole
reading that.
backstory is messed
Ugh,
up.
fucking insane. And it's no
Yeah, and you can
surprise
tell
something
this
like
thing
that
that
would
like
make a yokai, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
yeah. No, no, no. I was just saying, like, and even the kid, like, when he drowned or whatever, he's like, dude, like, he had fucking like water shoes, and that was the thing that made him happy with an umbrella. It's like, man, that's the innocence of children at its core right there. And he got bullied by a bunch of little fucks, dude, to the
Kids are
point where like he
awful.
now was chasing it. Dude, I hate kids. I don't want to know what it's like being some fucking 12-year-old kid right now in 2025, man. Good luck.
Yeah, dude,
But
fuck that.
yeah, tragic backstory. I think even the concept of the yokai and the umbrella, what a neat idea. I
Mhm.
like how the powers work. I like how the character looks. Maybe it's not a whole complete package like the Evil Eye, but I definitely rank it up there. You know,
I agree. I
so
agree.
yeah.
So I guess my question would
Mhm.
be: what would you attribute the backstory to, both him and Unji, or do you attribute it just to one of the characters? Like if we're using that as a tier list, like do we put Brella Boy in A because the his entire full package is A worthy, or do we like what would you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, I don't mind putting them as
Okay.
a two and one, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Cool.
So,
Cool.
mhm.
Now I know some people watching this might be like, "Oh my God, they're just giving everybody A's," but I genuinely think
No,
we
don't
have.
worry. There's some C tiers.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
worry. We'll get to them.
I think we even have like maybe not a C tier, but we definitely have a non A personally coming up right now. I don't know. I like Rin Sawaki. I like her story, but I feel like compared to everyone else, hers is definitely the least interesting. Personally,
Yeah,
I don't care about the spark. What is it? Was the fucking band from Dine Darko Sparkle Motion?
yeah,
I don't care about the girl
yeah,
pop
yeah.
idol car accident story. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the,
It's
the, the
sad.
whole her name's that little yeah the little thing's called cowabunga something cowabunga. Oh my
My
that's what it is.
Kawabanga. Yeah, my
My cowabunga.
Kawabanga.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. It just, yeah, I don't care. This is the first time in dandadan, like when we got to like, I like that arc, right? Because it was basically Mad Max, the
Yeah.
Busserman, right? I think that was literally Mad Max, which is fucking cool. So in my head, it's fun, but like the culmination of like Rin as a character, and albeit she also had a sad backstory, but like her transformation, it's kind of the thing I have a problem with Fire Force with what's her name, Tamaki, where it's like, oh, like my abilities is like whipping out my tits because I just have like bad luck I give to my opponents or something like that. She's an idol and it's like revealing, and it's not like the worst gimmick, but like it's just too fan servicey for me. And I
I
know like
feel
Don
that.
Don has you know, Don to Don has fan service, but it's always like nice and subtle, right? Like the nurse, ultimate fan service. I love it. She's hot. She's S tier, dude. Over Evil Eye any day of the week, But with Ren, it just, I don't know, like, oh my God, I'm like half naked and oh my God, I don't like this, but like here I am, just like, I don't care.
I feel that. I
I
feel
don't care.
that. I completely
I
agree.
think yeah, like I think it's like it's not my cup of tea, and maybe people may. I mean, I know there's probably people who would probably rank her higher, but to me, I think it's like B. It doesn't offend me that much, but it offends me enough to say like I can't give it an A,
Yeah, and
no doubt.
I think her yokai edition really doesn't add much to the protagonist. She's kind of just annoying. She kind of just disagrees with everyone and just talks shit. She talks shit with Turbo Granny. Like it's nice to have Turbo Granny. Turbo
Mhm.
Granny is refreshing because she's just funny. But like having two characters like that, like I feel like they don't bounce off to get. I just like all right, now you're just we have too many of you now. You
Mhm,
now
mhm.
it feels like too many people are involved in this group. But yeah, I think B. Like I like this. I like her story. I don't. I think I agree with you where the power is kind of like meh for Rin in general.
Yeah,
But I think the
yeah,
backstory is okay. But yeah, I think she's a B. Honestly, you know what?
yeah,
I think her being annoying. I don't know,
yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you wanna put her in C? Honestly, yeah, put her in C. Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
forgot how much she like, because I'm rereading the not the latest arc, the Kazuki Knives arc, and there's a point when she's in the auditorium with, Ira, and they're
Hmm.
trying to save, Koki. And yeah, even when Rin was like in, when she was like headless for a while, here's Cowabunga fucking just shit talking Ira the whole time, like, oh hey skank, like I'm crying and like Rin needs help and blah blah blah. And again, it's done for laughs, which is fine. But when I'm reading that and you're in a desperate moment where like your owner is quite literally fucked, you're still trying to shit talk to me? Nah, bro. Get
I
your
feel
ass
that.
out of here, dude.
I feel
B
that
tier.
completely.
Yeah.
Play ball with the team or fucking just go somewhere. Don't hang out with us then. Yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Um,
Yeah.
so we're coming up on the last couple of yokai here, and obviously we've got Turbo Granny, but we can save her for last just because we've got some, easy, layups here. Not too much
Yeah,
to discuss.
yeah,
What are your thoughts
yeah,
on the pygmies? I mean, obviously we'll get to Koki, like as a whole later. Like I love her character. I think she was a great addition. As for the pygmies as
yeah,
a whole, I think they make sense. They're a nice little addition to the yokai roster, but I think as a whole
mm,
they're kind of just there, they kind of don't really
yeah,
do much.
yeah, yeah. I think now, yeah, it makes more sense for Mai to be C tier and the Pygmy to be B. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like B is like a potential category. They're like, I'm curious about them. We've seen what they can do, and they have some unique things, and hopefully, like we can see more of them. So
Yeah, I do like that they were there for Koki in her, in her times of need, when she didn't have anybody that they kind of like the whole idea that like they're unseen, they're forgotten about, and like they were able to like relate to Koki because she felt unseen and forgotten. I kind of like that whole idea. It ties well to her character. So yeah,
yeah,
like you said, they're okay, and they don't annoy me like Mai does, and like Earthbound Spirit Crab is
yeah,
just like there. He's just honestly, Earthbound
yeah,
Spirit Crab didn't even need to be there. I feel like they could have just made Turbo Granny OP, and like the
yeah.
story could have been the exact same. So yeah.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then Hana and Taro are kind of the exact same. I kind of feel like they don't annoy me. They're a fun
yeah,
little like gag little moment in the story. I think they're cool,
yeah,
and like they have a
yeah.
nice little funny
Yeah.
love story that gets a chuckle out of me.
Yeah,
So I'm okay with them. I don't know if you have any
yeah,
thing to add, but that's about it. As I feel, I would honestly probably put them in like C
yeah,
tier because they're just so the
yeah, no,
background. But
yeah, yeah, I wouldn't say B, they're definitely like high C to
yeah.
me, like
Hmm.
they're fine. They're fine, I think we're probably done with them too, right? Like I'm sure we'll see them here and there, but in terms of, their introduction and how they contributed in the Curse House arc, like even leading up to the Evil Eye arc, I think that's cool,
Yeah.
when we had the rock band and like Gigi's body was still within that guy, but yeah, it's fine. Like they serve their purpose for the arc, and yeah, that's it. C is
Exactly.
fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, looking at this now, I'm like, do we move Earthbound Spirit Crab down to like a D as like just fodder? Like, but
D.
like, I'm like,
Yeah.
is that too
Yeah.
mean? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Uh. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't think it. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Uh, so I guess to finish off the yokai, we've got Turbo Granny here. I mean, I love Turbo Granny. I think she's since she was introduced, she's been a great addition to the cast. I love that she is like the almost like the guide like character where she's able to help the characters and give them information on yokai or things even though she kind of like is unwilling to do so. She has the
Yeah.
convenient ability to give Yukino Butatsu the option of writing in plot conveniences whenever he needs to just based off of her yokai
Mhm.
ability. So like I like it, and honestly I didn't realize how much I loved Turbo Granny until she left, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn, this is sad, this shit hurts. but let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. No, dude, I'm gonna say I think Turbo Granny's S tier.
Oh
Like
yeah,
she is dandadan. Like I have so much fun with Turbo Granny. There's not a single moment, especially when she shit talks as a little cat, where I'm not laughing.
hmm
Like I think everything about Turbo Granny just man, like Yokino Watatsu, I think really nailed this character, and I love how dandadan got a lot exposure because of the anime, of course. But like when I even see it, like I know what happens in the anime because I read the manga, and I still laugh out loud when I see Turbo Granny just shit talk to these people, you know.
yeah,
And we know because she's been gone. Like, yeah, I can't wait to know her relationship with Saint Germain if we talk about him next. With like, okay, like she calls him the old geezer and she's the grandma. So like what dynamic do we have between these two that is gonna unravel here in the upcoming months for the
super
story.
true, super true. Like that is like one of the biggest things that like I can't wait to get some kind of connection on. And like once the Kozuki knife saga started and she left, one of the biggest like theories or like just like things that I've been predicting is going to happen is like I definitely feel like, and I'm hoping it doesn't, but I definitely feel like Turbo Granny and Count Saint Germain might end up like fighting in some way, shape, or form. Because one thing that I
Mhm.
think a lot of people forget is Turbo Granny is a fucking problem. Turbo Granny is a very powerful yokai that I think because she spent so much time in the cat form, people don't remember that like she
Yeah.
literally had Momo, Seiko, and Okarun like by the balls, and like the only reason
Mhm.
she didn't kill them was because I'm pretty sure they had what she needed at some point. I don't remember exactly what it was. It's been so long since I've seen the beginning, but like there's that moment when like what one of them is taking
Yeah.
the shit and like Okarun's taking the shit and she takes over Okarun's body, fucking
Yeah.
almost gives Seiko. She's like, I can literally put your grandma in cardiac arrest right now. She's like, don't fuck around with me. She's
Yeah.
like it like people forget
Yeah.
how actually dangerous Turbo Granny is like as a spirit. So I
Mhm.
think like
Yeah.
saying that someone would be able to like fight someone like Count Saint Germain or at least have some kind of confrontation in general, but I think she would be of all the people to do it. Like I know a lot of people are theorizing that she may even be coming now because we need someone that can run fast, but I don't know if that will
Yeah.
come true or not. But yeah, I think her
Yeah.
reintroduction into the story is going to be integral for sure with her whatever her relationship with Count Saint Germain ends up being.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that is probably one of the most memorable panels. Not in Dandadan, but to me, like that whole like freaky eyeball thing coming out right in the bathroom, right? Like, dude, that panel is like very surreal. I loved how it came out. Um, the one where I'm talking about, where she's talking to the grandma or talking to Momo, right?
Yeah.
In that chapter. So
Yes. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank you,
So
Yami.
mhm.
Thank you, Yami Prismo, for the 10 gifted members. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. So yeah,
Shout out to Yami.
I think S tier for sure, without a
Mhm.
doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah,
One of the like you said, a staple
yeah.
character of Dandadan. Definitely part of the reason why it like its popularity is rising for sure. She's an icon.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
Now,
All right, we're doing Saint Germain next.
um, you know what? No, we're not. I'm gonna push him back. Actually, let's do the aliens. Let's run through the aliens real quick, and then we'll do
Okay.
Jermaine as like the final
Yeah.
like one of all the aliens, and then we can knock out the main characters, and we'll call it a day.
Sure, sure, sure. The Sherponians. Can I start, please?
Yes, yes, you
They're
may.
fucking goofy. They are Team Rocket. I don't see how you even give them a B tier. I think they are C tier.
I
They
love that
like I
so
don't take
much.
them seriously. They're literally fucking Team Rocket, dude. It's just like, why are you guys still in the story, right? So like, obviously, Tatsu has something like in plan, and I love how they were the introductory like aliens, right? Like
Mhm.
it was such like I love them in the beginning of the story. I love them when they came back during the Loch Ness Nessie thing, right? Like
Yep.
shortly after Ira, I forgot the Arc 3 name. Um yeah, and that was fine. But like, when we end like in the current events of the story, at the end of the human typhoon arc, and we see like the Serponians again, I just kind of like really? Like, can we just move on? Like because they were a nice introduction leading up to the current the space globalist, where it's like, oh, you want to see some real fucking aliens?
Mhm.
These are the real aliens, dude. That we got to worry about. So I thought we graduated from the Serponians, and when we just see them again, that's just I don't know, like
Yeah, the human typhoon
they
was
were
super
great.
weird.
They were great in the beginning. I just hate that like they're going to consistently be in this story, and who knows, maybe they'll join Momo and the gang towards the end with and they'll join up with them to fight the Kerr and Saint Germain and whoever else other antagonists we have that we haven't met yet. But for now, I don't know. I feel like they overstayed their welcome. That's probably the best way to describe it for me.
I can kind of agree with that. I see like definitely like Yukinobu clearly is using them as like the camera lens that we have towards like looking at like aliens and like getting like the kind of like perspective of what's going on. Like seeing them come back in this arc was definitely a surprise to me. I definitely didn't expect that when they're like, "Oh, we tried to send the typhoon, it didn't work." Like I guess Momo's going to get captured by Saint Germain, and it's like you're right. It's like, why are you guys still in the story? Like you guys aren't a problem anymore. And also like you said, like they kind of like they kind of not overstayed it, but they kind of finished their introduction or like inclusion in the story after Space Globalist. They were used as like the fodder for the one Kerr to like turn them all into like clones for that big battle with Momo and Rokuro
Yeah,
Serpo, who I believe at least has to
yeah,
be one tier above all the other Serpoans. Say what you will about the Serpoans, I think Rokuro Serpo is funny enough to like at least
sure,
is level up from
sure,
that. But yeah, I definitely
sure.
think like with the way that they were used in the Space Globalist arc, like and the way that they gave way to,
Yeah.
like you said, real alien threats. Like I said, seeing them come back now,
Mhm.
it's like we don't really see them as a threat anymore. They kind of are like I love that you said Team Rocket because that makes me laugh because it's so
Mhm.
funny. I've never
Yeah.
thought about that, but it's like
Yeah.
it is kind of hysterical. Like they're like the joke villains that showed up first. They
Yeah.
were a problem the first time you see them. They're never gonna ever be a problem again. But for some
Yeah.
reason, they're
Yeah.
still here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's funny.
it's like, bro, you're trying to capture my Pikachu. Like, dude, my Pikachu's like level fucking 100 right now. Like, your Arbok and Weezing, like, they're still fodder. Like, I can't take you guys serious anymore. So yeah, and I'm glad you said it earlier. I don't know if you want to move on because I think what's his name? The other Serpo that
Yeah,
that has
Rokuro
the scar and
Serpo.
all that stuff. Yeah. He's funny. Like, I think as the final topping on the Serponians, if this is our character who's joining Momo in the gang, he has personality, he's funny, like he's still kind of conflicted with himself and he's still trying to find his identity, but I like his character dynamics and the relationship he has and what he's contributed to the story even in the Don Manra arc. It's
Yep.
like, yeah, he's fine. I'm okay with him.
Agreed. The moment when like he's like fighting Officer Bega and he's like, oh, I've heard you like kung fu, and he's like in like the fighting stance or whatever. It's just he's just fun. Like you said, like he has his own unique presence, and like he like if he was the only Serpo that we continued to interact with past the Space Globalist arc, I don't think we would have the same opinions, right? Like if he was a mainstay as like the one representative, that would be completely fine. Because like you said, he has his own thing. He also has the whole quirk of like he wants to get paid for all of his work because now he's just a lowly salaried employee working at a convenience store. He's like, look, I'll help you, but I can't lose the paycheck for not getting paid for not working. So you guys got to like, yeah, he's got a funny little quirk, and like that's where Dandadan is at like its most like. I don't want to say like I hate saying the word homey, but like and wholesome, but like it's just like it's like a comfy kind of it's funny. It makes the world
Mhm.
feel more full. It makes the world feel more like okay, we've got friends in other places. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree. So do we think Serpoans are C, or did you say D?
No, no, I said C.
Oh, okay,
C.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I was like D. I
Yeah.
think is a little harsh. I think for like you said, I think for
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much we
Yeah.
can
No.
give them for the first appearance, I think yeah, I think C. I think they serve their
Yeah.
purpose well for like the first villain of the series. Now, the one thing I will say, I'm willing to give Flatwoods Monster, not Flatwood Zombies, Flatwood Monster D tier because I think it's like that's kind of like just like literally like like all right, this was just a boss that you guys kind of just threw in here. It
Yeah.
was a cool
Yeah.
fight. I think the fight, it shows how Momo also has her own, like her getting the shit kicked out of her and put into the wall, and then the hole in the wall is big enough to where they can like throw the talisman on there. I do love that moment for her character. I think it shows what she's capable of, as opposed to just
Mhm.
relying on Okarun and his powers.
Yeah.
But I think as a design, especially the anime made it so ugly with the black and white personally. But
I know. I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In my head, it was definitely cooler, you know?
yes.
So yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's D. It's fine. It was a cool boss. Like this is the world of dandadan. We're gonna see some crazy shit. And yeah, I think it's fine. But yeah, nothing too much.
Yeah, it's literally just like an extra, like just an extra NPC. And like when we have like extra NPCs on the level of like Peeny Weeny, like I'm sorry, Flatwoods Monster, you do not rank higher than D by any means.
Mhm, mhm,
Up
mhm.
next we've got the like big mamas and like the cur and stuff like that. Like I guess like
Yeah,
obviously we're gonna have to skip a couple of these because some of these don't even really have characters. I mean, big mamas,
yeah,
I don't know if you'd even want to tier list those. Those are like they don't even have a character. They're just the big fucking creatures that make the
yeah. Like a
exosuits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So creepy. I think the reveal of it definitely was metal as fuck. I'm like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
like this is really gross, you know. But yeah, there's no personality. I don't know what to say. I think in terms of a design and what it was, it's like fine, right? Like
Yeah,
C. I
exactly.
don't know. You want to give it a C? You know, I don't know.
I
Served its
wouldn't even. We don't
purpose.
even have to throw it on the tier list. It's kind of just one of those
Okay.
extra ones.
All right.
Now the Jet Booster Cur is, I think, a character that will probably be coming back because we kind of got glimpses of their backstory, but it seems like the way
Yeah.
that Tatsu kind of introduced it, it's almost like we probably will get the full story later because I think she's still around. I'm honestly
Yeah.
surprised that she came back. But I
Bro,
think.
I'm surprised. Go
Go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised we saw this dummy thick girl inside that outfit,
So
butt
true,
naked.
bro. All the other
And
ones are
Saint
fucking
Germain is like,
octopus,
hey,
bro.
this the earth is so heavy. Do you need a new suit? And I'm like, hold on, who is this butt naked girl, dude? You're telling me that xenomorph, right? Which here's the thing. I thought it just would have been so cool if the xenomorph, the exosuit, would just that.
Yeah.
Like, not a person in a suit. Like, it was just so much cooler when I read the Space Globalist. It's like, dude, this fucking quite literally the aliens from James Cameron or whatever, thrown in the story. And there's those panels when Okarun is fighting with it. Like, they kind of do like this like ballet type of dance. There's like one panel
Hmm.
where they're like kicking each other. One of the most memorable things to me in the Space Globalist arc, and we knew it was basically like the number two. So I love the design. I love how cool it was. I love how I always found it a threat for Okarun, especially when they first like just quite literally like mobbed him. Like that whole group like thrashed him, you know, and they like stole back the Kintama from him. Um, and then you end up finding out, man, this person dummy thick as fuck, dude. I'm like, bro, what?
So crazy. Like,
Oh
wow,
my god,
Yuki
S tier just
Nobu.
off of that, dude.
So random. Like it's just like I said, it's so
Dude.
funny because like all the other ones are like octopuses and they're like fucking squid like creatures, and like then you just got you can always like, you know what? Crack my knuckles a
As if
little
we don't
bit.
have enough fan service already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's throw some elbow grease into this design over here.
yeah,
Like that's crazy. It's funny to me. I think right now B, I
yeah, yeah.
with potential to raise higher. The if you know when she gets reintegrated into the story for sure. Um,
Sure,
I
sure,
think her
sure.
fight with
Yeah,
Heisei
yeah,
was really
because
fun. But go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
because there was something fascinating when she again, it was a very small glimpse, but she's like, you know, I hate Okarun because like I wanted to get revenge on them. I only joined them so I can fuck up the leader myself. And Okarun, you like took that away from me. So like that's a very interesting, like, whoa, okay, there's something here, you know? And you're right, yeah. Why is everyone like little squid monsters? But you know, we got a dummy thick girl in in this outfit, you know. So yeah, B's fine.
Yeah,
I agree.
definitely.
I agree.
100%.
Mhm.
And then, you know, we got some of the other curs and everything like that. I'm just gonna, you know what, like we don't have to go through all of them. I think what we can do is we can rate the cur as a whole. Where's
Sure.
Haster? He's the main one. I guess this maybe they just showed him as like the octopus. Yes. Okay. We'll rank.
Yeah.
That's what I'll use. What do you? So obviously, Space
Yeah.
Globalist is your favorite arc. I guess
Yeah.
if you want to do some, I guess talk about what your favorite things were about the cur, what made it the most favorite arc for you.
Yeah, they were just a big threat. Like over the course of that arc, like 70% of it, it's like, okay, maybe there's some little weaknesses that we got glimpses of, right? Like, okay, the gravity, they can't deal with the gravity. I don't know if water was a weakness for them or like water was a source of power for them, but like they, man, when they like dismantled Okaroon in the beginning of the arc, and then when Ira and Gigi, I think were teaming up and they also equally failed. Like, they're like, bruh, like, because we saw Gigi, I think, finish his training with Momo, or like I don't know. Oh man, I don't know now. But anyway, they just basically got thrashed. Like I took them serious from the get, and I think Tatsu did a good job of just showing us like they're a threat, they're here, and they're more dangerous to me than the Serponians, right? Like, and I liked how they were introduced at the end of the kaiju arc when you end up finding out that like the Serponians were now like were succumbed to the curve because they are the dangerous alien threat that you should take serious. So yeah, man, I thought for the first time I was scared for them, and that's what I'm saying. It's like it wasn't until Reiko Kachima comes in swooping it, kind of almost diluting it just a bit, the impact of what they had. But I don't know. I think maybe that's more so a testament of like how broken Reiko Kashima is. So I think as a whole, though, you read this and this is like them powering up together as a team. And there's that one cool panel when we see all the good guys and then like all the Kura on the other side. And
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
man, this is like to me like the crescendo moment in Dandadan, right? I think it's that followed by the Dan Manra second, right? But yeah, I just loved everything about them, and I think Yokonobu Tatsu had so much more fun giving us different types of alien races, right? And that's why again when you see the exosuit and it's like, bro, this is a xenomorph, literally a xenomorph. This is so cool to me, right? Like, yeah, yes, give me all the aliens you can muster up.
Definitely, definitely. I One thing that I really, really love about the Cur and the Space Globalist arc as a whole is just like it allows Yukinobu to get where he clearly feels the most comfortable, like in like introducing like the with all those zaniness and randomness and weirdness in Donadon. Like I feel like Yukinobu does love when he does start doing some like just classic shonen shit. Like some of the fights in Space Globalist are some of the best fights in the entire series. Like I don't know like
Mhm.
what were highlight moments for you, but like I think of like Peeny Weenie like fucking fighting that one
Oh
Space
yeah,
Globalist, and
yeah,
they get brought into the
yeah,
water, and like he turns into the
yeah,
mantis shrimp and
yeah,
he survives the poison.
yeah.
Like it's such an intense moment, and
Mhm.
like you said, like Gigi and Ira getting their shit rocked the very first time they face them, and everyone has to go through that training arc. And like Rokuro
Mhm.
Serpo is helping. He like puts them through like not hallucinations, like holograms, so that way they can train against and like seeing everyone come back in that moment for the big final battle. Okarun even is on his own side, doing his own development and learning to grow on his own. Like it gives the Space Globalist arc gives everyone something to do, and it just feels so impactful. And the Kur are just great villains for it. They really do feel like fuck, these people could destroy the entire fucking world if they do get what they want. And they pretty much almost did if Reiko Kashima didn't interfere. So I guess the one thing I do like
Yeah.
about it is it also shows that while our protagonists were able to muster the strength to beat the assault squad, whatever they called it, the invasion squad, like the first squad they send with their 10 people.
Mhm.
However, they're not, able to handle an entire Earth invasion by an entire alien race, right? Like it does kind of show like realistically, all right, these characters do have some kind of limit, and thankfully Reiko Kashima is here to handle the threat. And to your point, I definitely see what you mean, where you could say like, all right, yeah, Reiko just kind of comes in, solves the entire problem. It kind of dilutes the threat a little bit. I do also
Yeah.
like the fact though that it does reinforce something that like Okrun kind of hints at the very beginning of the story, which is the only thing
Mhm.
keeping Earth from invasion anyway is the existence of
Yeah.
yokai
Is
in
the
general.
yoga.
So it does
Yeah.
reinforce the
Yeah.
fact that yeah, like literally, like Earth would be cooked, but there are yokai that would stop that can stop the aliens, and at the end of the day, the yokai are still just as much, if not a greater threat than an entire fucking alien invasion.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I think that's a nice yin and yang the series keeps on flirting with, right? Because, like, kind of look at it like aliens and predators, right? It's like, look, both of them fucking hate humans and they're doing their own thing. But when you ask me which one's a bigger threat, I'm like, oh, that's a really good question. And even with all the technological advances and how dangerous things in outer space can be, man, you don't fuck with spirits.
Nope.
Especially fucking Japanese yokai. Don't fuck with them.
No, you
you
don't want
know?
to fuck with a jost. A jost. You don't want to fuck with a
Yeah.
ghost. You don't want to fuck with a
Yeah.
Japanese ghost. Most of all, those are that's a higher tier. I feel like of like of
Dude.
like
Yeah.
sinisterness.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, I'm gonna send you something on Discord right now because I had the Umbrella Boy Unji panel pop up.
Mhm.
Dude, when I saw that, I'm like, nah, man, that shit fucking freaks me out. That
Yes,
freaks, nah, man. Like, look, aliens are scary, but if that fucking massive thing showed up, nah, bro.
I feel that
Nah, tell me that
completely.
don't
That
freak you out.
giant
See, that is
leg,
just
bro.
some
I'm
fucking
out. I'm done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're
Yeah,
cooked, dude.
man, absolutely
Um,
not.
so, so,
Sometimes like it's one of those things where it's like you see like a crazy situation. It's like, dude, just kill me. Just don't even. You know what? I'm not even fucking with it. I'm not even gonna try and run. Just you know what? It's over. It just the Earth
yeah, yeah.
reclaim me now.
Mhm. So yeah, I think yeah, it's hard to individually rank them. I think as a whole, yeah, they're fantastic villains. They are the obviously the MVP antagonists of the arc, right? So yeah, they're A. I think it's
Hey, I'm
or
willing to
if you
give
want
the
to put
Cur
S,
in general. I'm giving like if we're talking Cur as
okay.
a whole, I think S. I'm
Yeah.
willing to give him
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
S.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
100%, 100%. Hey,
I like
what's
it.
up,
Yeah.
Christian? The Owl House and Bandori fan. I am enjoying Dandadan and Gacha Kuta this season. I think those are generally like the two best anime going on right now. I don't know if you agree, Miles, but yeah, they Dandadan and Gacha Kuta both Studio Bones and who's doing Dandadan Science Saru? They're killing it right now with those
That's I'm sorry.
adaptations.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Gotcha Akuda, I don't know how much you read. I read, I think, like the latest episode where that one guy with the dreads was trying to capture what's his name? Riku, whatever. I stopped a little after that. So I'm glad the anime now is getting good because for me, I don't know about you, it took a while for me to like dig the Gotcha Akuta.
So I will say right where the anime just got to with Jabber, I think is where I did
Mm,
start to get hooked a little bit. I agree that it
yeah.
was kind of the one thing I will say about Gachi Kuta is it's definitely, and I actually I'm fully caught up personally. And
Okay.
I will say the one thing I do like about it, it reminds me a lot of Black Clover, where it's
Mm,
not afraid to spend more time building the world and like letting the characters
mm,
like because like nowadays I feel like most manga like are really addicted to like the fast pace, like getting to the next plot
sure,
thread as soon as we possibly
sure.
can. Whereas like I don't know if this is just like a Kodansha thing because I feel like Blue Lock kind of does the same thing where it's not afraid to take time away from the story to build the characters. And
Yeah,
where
yeah.
in most cases,
And
like you'll remember JJK, Gege took one chapter to build a character, and it's like, what the fuck's going on? Where's the fight? This is the worst chapter that ever came out. I feel like Kodansha may
yeah,
just be a little bit more lenient with like their artists because like it does seem
yeah,
like
yeah,
Gachakuta
that's a
isn't
good one. Yeah,
afraid to take its time with a lot of that stuff. But I
yeah,
think right where the anime just got, that's where I did start getting hooked a little bit more into the story. I like Gachakuta. I think it has the potential to be a really big series.
yeah,
I think it's really good. I like
yeah.
Rudo most of all. I think he's a cool
Ye
MC personally.
yeah. Yeah, I will say the power system is really cool, and I think how
Yes.
Rudo's system or how Rudo's powers work specifically, and how it was showcased in that episode where like the little prayer mirror, one eye thing from fucking The Legend of
Mhm.
Zelda, Bongo Bongo, right?
Majora's
Like
Mask, it's so
the
funny you said that. I was watching a YouTube video, they said the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah. But that's a good idea of like, oh shit, he's so pissed, but like he really loves like, it's that expression, one man's trash is another man's treasure
Yeah.
type of thing. And I believe the protagonist enough that I see his sympathy and how much love he has for this. So knowing that's like his specific individual power, I think is pretty neat.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
literally Jack the Ripper from Record of Ragnarok if he was a protagonist of an anime. I loved his.
mm,
I
mm,
love as so the moment they were like everything he touches turns to a weapon. Obviously, he ends up getting more. It's more complicated than that, and he finds out. But like the moment that was his power, I was like, oh, I'm all for it. But no, I think the series
mm.
does come into its own like right where the anime is at because I really do enjoy the next arc after that and the next couple of story beats that go on from where the anime is literally just about to get to. Um, so yeah,
Gotcha.
I recommend it. If whether you follow I would what I would say is I would just follow the season one. And then if you
Mm,
still like if you still feel the same, then probably don't read it. But if you start to like
yeah.
feel the hype, then I would say definitely dive into it because I enjoy it as a series.
Ye yeah. Without spoilers, I think I stopped shortly after, like, this one girl had, like, a little confetti cans and, she was, like, spray painting, something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're, like, getting there now, I think, in the anime,
Yep.
right?
hmm
Or they
I
will
think that's the
be in
very
the
next.
next, few
I think that's the very next arc that they go
yeah,
into.
yeah,
This the graffiti
yeah.
town,
Yeah.
something like
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
But well, obligatory moment here. This is my promotional post to say if you haven't already, please read Chojin X. It is the best ongoing manga, literally right now. There is no, I'm telling you, if you haven't read it, it is quite literally. There's nothing better than it right
Yeah.
now.
Wow, yeah, I was, like, 4 chapters deep 4 chapters deep. I only read up to 4 chapters. I didn't hate it. I just like,
hmm
"Oh, I don't get it," and I think it's literally because it's one of those things, what you said, whenever people hype up a series, like, "Bro, it's so good," and it's like, "Well, yeah, there's something here, but I don't know." I guess that's always kinda like the problem when you start new manga, right?
Yeah,
It's like, "Okay, how much time do I have to sit down and invest and really appreciate this story?" And you don't really know that answer until you're deeper in, you
exactly,
know?
exactly. I will
Yeah.
say, I had been have had it recommended to me by a lot of people, and I was kind of falling off. I read like the first 10 or so chapters, and I read it very like inconsistently. I read like one or two chapters, like,
Mhm,
and then like a week or two later, I read the next chapter, and I was really kind of like, all right, this is kind of going slow. And then I think
mhm.
like at around chapter 15 or 16, maybe closer to 20, it like immediately snapped and I read the entire all the way up to catch up in like 3 days. Like I was if I had free time, I was reading the series. So I don't know. Like I
Damn.
said, I don't want to get off track, but I just wanted to throw because we were talking about something else. I want to throw in to all the people in chat as well. Give Chojin X a try and get to at least like get to like not a spoiler, get to the arc after the sinker and you'll know what I'm talking about if you read because that's where it's kind of still finding its pace. After the sinker, it's fucking peak fiction from that point on, and there's not a single slow point, in my opinion. But
Okay.
in my opinion, but
Yeah, will
okay,
do.
getting back to the tier list, and getting off my soapbox, Tsuchinoko. How do you feel about like I guess because we can kind of do the Tsuchinoko, then we can do the Kito family like right afterwards. Like Tsuchinoko, I feel
Yeah.
like as a cryptid was a really cool cryptid to include. Like the Mongolian death worm, I thought was really dope. I thought it was a
Yeah.
cool inclusion. I think it served
Yeah.
its purpose as like being a threat right before the evil eye shows its head as like the
Mhm,
actual problem to
mhm,
deal with.
mhm,
I don't
mhm.
really have anything more to say about it other than that. Like it's kind of very similar to what we
Yeah.
talked about with the space globalists, where like it's a threat that the protagonists are not ready to handle yet at all. And thankfully,
Mhm.
their enemy actually saves them.
Uh, yeah. I liked being tricked into thinking like this was the big bad, only to find out the secondary
hmm
antagonist. and not even like by a mile, right? So like, yeah, it was a cool little monster. Well, cool little monster. It was a massive monster, and you're right. It being encrypted and learning the little info that Okarun shared about it in the beginning, I think was fun. But yeah, I don't think it's not like one of the most memorable. Well, actually, let me take that back. I think it's memorable, but it didn't leave like a lasting impact for me, right? It
Hmm.
does make a reappearance again, or it's like Offspring, comes back in the Human Typhoon arc.
I've
But
got some opinions
yeah,
about that.
I think it's like, I think it's like a high C, low B.
Yeah,
So
I agree. Like a C tier. I think C, like yeah, like probably like high C is probably best bet
yeah,
for me
yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, comparing to everyone else in the C tier, yeah, I think it's probably the best amongst that little those four.
Sure. Now, in regards to the Keto family, I don't know if you have strong opinions. I actually, I will say this: I like the Keto family because I like what they represent, especially in the Cursed House arc. They represent, the small town, politics, small town fucking situations where you get areas of people that are very separated from actual society, and there are
Mhm,
unfortunately just if anyone lives in a small town, everybody knows fucking everybody. There's people that are
mhm.
that basically fucking run the show and get away with everything because it's a small town, they can get away with it. It's fucked up, and that shit does happen, sadly, in the real world. So I do like what the Keto family represents.
Yeah,
And I guess for me, where I am annoyed is the reveal of the subterranean aspect to Naki Kito's character, just for
yeah.
that to not be used whatsoever in their reintroduction that they just had. Like it's like what, all right, they came back and I was like, oh my God, this was the setup. Like I expected this to just be, like sometimes in like certain series or shows, it's like, I'm gonna get you. And then they actually never come back because the story just moves past it. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was just like a funny
Mhm.
little gag, like, oh my God, they're action alien. You've made enemies of all subterraneans. I genuinely did not expect that to ever get reintroduced. So when they came back, I
Yeah,
was hyped. I said, oh my God, Tatsu is gonna, deliver on this small little panel that he showed to us at the end of Cursed House. And then they have the little knife fight in the sky, which is crazy. And then it's almost similar to like what we just said. The secondary antagonist ends up being the real threat of the typhoon, and the Quito family
yeah.
gets tossed to the moon by the evil eye. And who maybe they'll come back in another 100 chapters or so. I don't know, but yeah, I just thought that
Yeah,
was annoying to
yeah,
me personally. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's just me. With all the revenge and
yeah,
everything going after Okarun, I'm like, okay, the Quito family's coming now, and they didn't even have anything to do with Count Saint Germain. So it's like, why were they? This literally was just a coincidence that they were here at the same time as the typhoon. Literally just a coincidence.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there's more questions I have about that relationship of like, okay, the Keto family are really subterraneans. How did they find this Mongolian death worm? What was their like relationship? Like there's something really cool that I would like to know more about that. And when that specific arc ended, and it's like, oh shit, the subterraneans, when are they going to come back? Were they going to make an appearance during the Space Globalists? They didn't. And then we see them again in this like latest or last recent arc with the human typhoons. And then they kind of do that like Team Rocket style, I'm gonna
Literally,
leave you in the moon, and they're like a gag character again. And I'm like, that's not where I thought we were going with
hmm,
these people.
yeah.
Like I thought it just would have been so much more menacing where it's like, okay, keep them in the moon, and then it's like, I don't know, like leave me wanting more, where now they all transform, not just Naki Keto, all of them. And it's like, okay, now let's fuck them up, or let's do something, right? Like I don't know, like to make them a gag character the second time around, I actually didn't like that. Like it was
Yeah.
interesting in the moment, but yeah, like we know who they are. It's like, okay, let me see how menacing the subterraneans are, because they do look like, they look creepy. I like the design. I like what they could bring. Maybe they had to be nerfed for the Cursed House arc again, as like, gotcha. Like, hey, there's different layers to this. But as of right now, like, I don't know. So there's potential. I want to see the full potential of the subterraneans.
Yeah, me too. I think you hit the nail on the head with my how I feel about it. I was upset to see them come back as gag characters because it seemed like they weren't going to be gag characters with the setup that they got. So as of right now, honestly, as we talk about it more, I'm like they kind of just give me Serpoan vibes, honestly, or Serponian. You know what I mean? Like they kind of
Right.
that's like what
Yeah.
what they've been like downgraded to up until this point until further
Yeah.
notice. I feel like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
gag
Yeah.
villains.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I agree. I really hope there's something more. Like, I want to be surprised, but man, if he like, this is the thing I'm afraid about them is that if he goes the route of them being gag characters one more time, then they are a letdown.
Yeah.
It really sucks, right? It's like now when someone's like, can you imagine like a friend reading dandadan and it's like, bro, I just finished the Cursed House arc. Like, what are the subterraneans? And then you're like,
Yeah.
nothing. It's like, doesn't that hurt to say? It's like, yeah, it
It's
doesn't
a
go
red
anywhere.
herring. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
It's like if you ever have anybody go through read or watch Attack on Titan now, knowing how everything, and then you hear the theories and you're like, you are nowhere close. But
Yeah,
okay. Sure.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's just one of those
Hmm.
series, it's impossible to figure out what the fuck's going on. But up next, we've got Vamola. And I mean, I guess we could kind of, because her, her like quote unquote mom is up next. So honestly, we can kind of like just combine Vamola and just like the Sumerians is like all one kind of thing. I mean one of the
Sure.
we were talking about acrobatic Silky and Brella Boy having really good backstories. I completely forgot that this is I think one of the only alien backstories that we get, but it is 100% like one of my favorites. It makes the Space Globalist arc feel so real and just high stakes, and like it adds so an additional layer to it that like you really just don't see fucking coming. Like when I made the
Yeah,
joke like at the end of Acrobatic Silky, I'm like, why am I crying? Like they're
yeah,
literally like this was one of those moments where like watching Ramola get put through like the space portal and like they're both on the other end of the portal. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, Yukinobu
yeah,
Tatsu? I'm like, how do you do this? It's the same way like how I felt like with Gege, where like he would come out the blue with like one chapter and I'm like, this character is my new favorite character, I guess, and I've only known him for one chapter. It's kind of like that, where it's like sometimes these mangaka are just so good at like making you care and deeply immersed in a story in such a short amount of fucking time. It's unreal. And I
mhm,
feel like Vamola and her whole thing is the perfect representation of that.
yeah, yeah. I remember when I narrated that Space Globalist arc. I was actually crying when I like got to that moment. I was and I remember when I was done, I'm like, should I just like redo that line? And I'm like, no, because I think that just adds to the brevity of that moment. So when you go on that video, by the way, shameless plug, I have the Don to Don Explain series. That moment specifically, you will actually hear me choke up. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, we keep it in.
It's true,
Yeah,
man.
tragic backstory. I love everything about the like her surrogate mom being a hard ass, and because she has to be, because that world that she was raised in is fucking brutal. There are
Hmm.
people massacred. When we see that panel of like that big mom turning people into eggs, it's like, bro, it's like the grossest like fucking goosebumps for me, where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, they are in a fucked situation, even to the point where like all the males are just slaves. And dude, yeah, it's all just messed up, man. And even during through all of that rebellion, they couldn't get the job done, you know. So when we see that backstory and how it led to the beginning of the kaiju arc, you're like, oh shit. Like, I like how you appreciate the kaiju arc knowing that flashback presented later in the Space Globalist.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah. I think Bomola and the cast, they end it optimistic. I wish they didn't. I think if they just ended it as dire as it could have been, I think it would have, I would have praised it a lot more for going there, But
Yeah.
because I think Dandadan as a series, although they're not afraid to show us tragic backstories like we've seen so many times before, that one specifically, I wish they would have kept like really dark,
I know what you
That's just
mean.
me. But
I know what you
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
Mhm.
man, I'm just thinking back to it now, man. I might have to watch your video honestly because I need to relive that moment. On it's just so like when like they're going through the prison break or whatever, trying to get to the portal, and
Yeah.
then the woman of the soldiers come back in that last moment, and they start. I'm like literally, I remember screaming at the top of my lungs reading that shit. I was like, yes, like it's like you're watching a movie. Like that's like it's like so crazy how like in like
Mhm.
1 to 2 chapters, like I can get the exact kind of fucking theater experience of like watching a full-fledged
Yeah.
sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Like it's insane to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Bro, okay. I don't know if we talked about this. A lot of people, and I'm not opposed if Don Don Space Globalist became a movie, but then
no.
that would also mean we're not going to see that shit for like 2.5 years, you know?
I completely agree. I'd be fine with it. I don't they might have to do I don't know if there'd be too many chapters
Oh, it was
for
like 30 chapters. Yeah, you
yeah.
know what? Actually, yeah, no, that's not going to work because you know what's crazy? I don't know how long the Mugen Train chapter or that movie was like in terms of chapters,
I think it was
but
like
I know
12
Bomb Girl
chapters
is like
maybe.
Yeah, like bro, Bomb Girl arc is, I think is like 9 to 10 chapters max, and that's
Mhm.
going to be a full hour and 30-minute movie. So yeah, never mind, never mind. Yeah, it definitely can't be a movie now.
Well, we'll
Um,
have to see. Well, I'm curious to
yeah,
see when it comes out in about 2 weeks now. I'm curious to see what the first Infinity Castle, how much content that actually contains. I was like literally I was looking at the
that's
show
insane.
times today. I was like, am I gonna actually buy fucking tickets for this fucking movie? I'm like, I'm kind of
Yeah,
curious to see it. But I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah. Because they say they're going to make it a trilogy, but like, how many chapters was Infinity Castle? Like, I could have sworn it was a lot.
I think it was
So
40. I just did a video on it. I think it was like 41. 41 chapters just
okay,
about. And yeah, I maybe
okay,
so I guess if three, maybe you could do like 13 to the thing with Infinity Castle is most of it is fighting. So you figure
that's
that's a
true.
little bit quicker
That's
to
true.
get through chapter wise. But
Hmm.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm curious
yeah,
to see what they're manage what they would have to do at least 13 to 14 chapters a movie. They could also
yeah,
move
yeah,
stuff around, you know. They might even do like they might change like the way that certain events go to make it make more sense or make the pacing make sense. But without getting too
yeah.
off the beaten path,
Oh
I
god,
think
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's very clear Vimola is an S, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can put her up there. Yeah,
I think
I
so.
mean, I think that when you ask me like what makes the the space globalist arc like my favorite arc, yeah, it really is a full package of all that stuff. So,
Definitely.
mhm.
Now the next ones are pretty quick, so we can kind of push through them. We got the Loch Ness monster. Nothing really too much to say. Just like an additional,
Yeah,
villain for the one arc. Honestly, kind of like a D tier, I would say, with like the Flatwoods
yeah,
and Earthwood. We got so I guess we could push Peeny Weenie because we got Chiquita coming up. How do you feel about Peeny Weenie? Honestly, I love him. I think he's like at least a B tier. Like he's kind of like Rokuro Serpo. Like it's just nice to have
yeah,
friends in places,
yeah.
and he's like a funny little gag character.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely stood out in the space globalist for me, like that battle with the
Agreed.
fucking praying mantis, like that was when I like really liked him. And then, again, because there's stakes there too, right? Like, we know he has his kid, but he's like, bro, I got to do this for my kid.
Yeah.
So that's when I really appreciated his character the most. I think prior to that, like you're right, he was basically a C tier to me, and then yeah, he worked his way up to B tier. So
Yeah, I think B tier. I like that fight is so it is one of my favorite moments. I want to give him an A, but I just don't know. Like
yeah,
he's just this Mr. Side guy. I don't know if I would give him an A yet.
yeah,
Maybe if he has one
yeah,
more
yeah,
good
yeah.
moment, he has potential to move up.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
hmm Chiquita, we don't even have to rate. He's not even really a character. It's just his son.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Ludris,
Yeah.
Ludris, I can't. I feel like this guy has to come back in some way, shape, or form. For
Mhm.
me, and I feel like the main reason, one, because he was just glazed up to hell for no reason and then hasn't shown up again. And two, because he has the
Yeah.
same fucking logo that everyone and their mother has, like across the series. So like, I'm like, this guy has got to be
Mhm.
important in some way. But right now, we literally know
Yeah.
nothing about him besides like he's the one that made the nano machines.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's the problem? He's the fucking guy from Dragon Ball Super, like the little alien boy, and you're like, oh, the little alien boy is like the supreme being of like everything. You're like,
Literally.
Really?
Xeno.
It's like I really wish it wasn't. So I don't know. Like, yeah, I hope he comes back and does something. But right now, like the fact that like Momo like slapped him or whatever, it's like, dude, you disrespected like the ultimate supreme being. It's like I know it's dandadan. Like we shouldn't take it serious. But whenever you give someone a title like that and then you make him look like a fucking doofus, I'm just like, whatever.
He's the
Right? I don't
secret
care.
villain of everything. He's the secret
Yeah,
ruler of the universe or some fucking dumb shit. It's gonna be something fucking ridiculous like that for sure. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
until now, I guess you want to just throw him into D because he's literally just like a what the fuck character. You probably put him. You want to put him in F.
No, D's fine. D's fine. D's fine. D's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
You know what? You know who I'm willing to put in F? I'm willing to put in fucking Mandrill Alien in F. What the fuck was the point of that chapter? Just like an extra additional fun chapter, I guess, that turns everyone into soda cans.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kind of stupid. I don't know why he reminds me of the fucking grasshopper from JJK. It's
Oh,
like,
because he's the smart guy. I'm so smart.
yeah, yeah. I'm just like, shut up, man.
It's
Whatever.
one of those
Yeah, yeah. You can put
gags.
it out.
So that's
Mm-hmm,
definitely
mm-hmm.
like his editor was like, hey, come on, this word for JJK. Do this
Yeah.
do this alien. People will love it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You got the Serpo alien Knock Ness, whatever the fuck, the Dover, yeah, it's a big
Yeah,
name.
the Dover Demon Nessie something. I forgot, man. It was a mouthful saying it in that fucking video a lot. The Dover Demon Nessie's. I don't know. I
Who
forgot it. Whatever.
knows? Just a D
Who
or a
cares? Yeah,
C.
yeah,
I mean, there's not
yeah, yeah.
even.
It's D. It's D.
Yeah, we'll put him next to the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
All right, but that gets rid of that. And then I guess the very last villain is Count Saint Germain. And so I don't know if you have any major thoughts on him. He seems to be, in my opinion, set up to be the main villain of everything, or at least a main integral portion of whatever the end of Dandadan is going to be. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? Because the way that the wiki fans have the Kintama saga, right, of like the first 9 arcs, and now we're at the Kozuki knives. Is Saint Germain going to be just a major villain in the same way the Kerr were in Space Globalist, or is he the final boss and we really are closer to the end of this story than we realize? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because I think Saint Germain definitely is final tier boss. But if he's presented in the story now, which is crazy to say, like 200 chapters later, it's like, Dan Monra ended with like, "Do you know what the dandadan is?" or whatever, and then like we just see that like weird like zoom out of like, bro, is this story going to be like 1,000 chapters, like One Piece, or is it really just kind of contained right here and that's the end of that? So if we just go with the latter, right? And maybe we're closer to the end than we think, then I like Saint Germain as a villain. But if he really is a long-lasting person that we're just going to see kind of like Muzan and Demon Slayer, then yeah, I think either way, I think there's a lot of potential for him, and I have high hopes for him, especially again when Turbo Granny called him Hyper Geezer. So it's like, okay, there's definitely some dynamic there. I can't wait to learn more about.
Yeah, I think as a character, I think like Yuki Nobutatsu like picked such an amazing historical figure to base like one of his villains off of. Like I don't know if you're familiar with like the actual like Count Saint Germain like as a person in like real life.
No, no.
But like yeah, I mean
I thought it was
he's
just an Easter egg to the soccer player or the soccer team.
so funnily enough, no. So actually, there is an actual person who's named Count Saint Germain. He's like an old like historical figure, and basically he was this weird like alchemist that would like literally travel the world, and like he would constantly tell like, and he would meet with like royalty and would meet with like rich people. He would never use his real name. He would constantly use fake names. He would constantly like have riches and like random shit, and like he would tell people, I'm from the future. I'm from the past. I'm an alien,
Yeah,
actually. And like he would just tell people different stories every time. And it's so weird. Like he's just such a weird
fascinating.
dude in history. And like many people have actually claimed that so no one knows when he actually died. No one knows like exactly. They just found his corpse and they were able to confirm it was him, but no one knows when he actually died. But he would tell people he was like, I'm 500 years old and like shit like that. And supposedly people on spiritual journeys that have like, you know, like so supposedly, you know, whatever you actually believe, you know, if you believe the dead or, you
Yeah.
know, you can actually talk to the dead or whatnot, or like talk to spirits. Supposedly people have like gone on like spiritual journeys and have like met someone claiming to be Count Saint Germain, who like confirms all of this information in history and is like, yep, nope, I've ascended actually, like, and like to the point where he's just remained a like a figure in like occult organizations and like shit like that throughout like literally since like the I don't remember if it's the 1500s, but like yeah, like he's a whole
Yeah.
Wikipedia page. It's crazy. And just like
Oh,
for
okay.
as mysterious of a person he's based off of, I feel like Yukinobu nails the fucking like hits it right on the head of like
Mhm.
this character. Like, who is this character even human? Is this character an alien? Like, what is this guy? How long? If the Turbo Granny knows him. How old is he? Like, he's working with the Cur. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like the
Yeah.
amount of like who is this guy that he's able to one ally himself with an alien race that literally their natural born instinct is to just conquer and just kill, and like he's somehow able to like compare like work alongside them as a completely like it's like who is this guy? He shows up on Earth through the gates of hell in in a museum of like it's like,
Yeah.
and he just pretending to be like this school teacher who was able to manipulate memories, and like everyone's like, oh yeah, he's been a teacher this whole time, and he's like, yeah, I've been here this whole time, and it's like, dude, no the fuck you haven't. Like what? Like he's just such a very mysterious guy, especially with all of the Kozuki knife saga going on, where it's like the fact that like he even has the genuine dandadan fandom like diluted, not diluted, because to say that the story, I don't that sounds mean, but like to say like he actually has genuine like people on opposite sides of like, no, Count Saint Germain is innocent, he's being framed, like people, he's just being made to look like he's the villain. And then you have like also
Mhm.
where it's like it's almost so you have the Serpoans literally saying that Count Saint Germain is searching and trying to go for Momo. It's like this guy is so mysterious, he's even tricking the people that are reading the series into thinking that he's just a red herring. Like he's just like, I feel like he's just like Yukinobu has done so well with this guy's character, and yeah, his the way he
You
fights,
know,
it's cool.
yeah. The way, okay, now that I know all this lore, I'm like literally Googling Count Saint Germain. Wow. Yeah. I feel like if you put a character like you gave us with Count Saint Germain in Dandadan to what this is, yeah, I can see how he's definitely mimicking a lot of his style, the mystique about him, and yeah, dude, if you're putting that much thought in uh, lore into your main big baddie, you're right. Okay, now I'm color me impressed, good sir. Now you got me piqued with interest with who this guy's all about.
Yeah, it's genuinely like it really is. It, like I said, it adds a layer of like even extra mystique to the Donadon character, because now you're like, you know, the
Yeah,
character that he's based off of, and you see the way that he's being represented. You're like, oh shit, like there's especially the fact
yeah.
that he knows what the Donadon is, like the fact that he's the first character ever to be like, do you know what the Donadon is? Like he's a paranormal collector that like at the same time he's searching for Momo and what is it, the I get, you know, it's so funny. I keep thinking that it's the Idris Elba, but that's not. That's the fucking actor. What is he looking for that Momo has? I don't remember what it is. It's gonna fucking bother me.
I don't remember.
I have to
I
look at the
don't know.
chapter. I have to. It's the one chapter where the teacher's getting beat up by the dude in the mask. I have to look it up. It's gonna bother me now. It's gonna
Yeah,
bother the hell out of me. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm derailing everything right now.
no, you're all
Um,
good.
what? Okay. Um, yep. He fights. He's talking to the teacher. In order to take away a person's abilities, it's necessary to make them surrender. A person with an id cosmos, which does not fear death. In order to defeat such a person, it's necessary to thoroughly attack the people around them such as their relatives and friends. So like it like if that is Count Saint Germain, like the fact that like he is that calculating, that like he's like, look, I'm trying to steal Momo's powers and she will never surrender if I try to kill her. Even if I attack her, she will never surrender. So I have to focus on attacking every single person around her and then making her feel alone to where she surrenders not for herself, but for the other. Like, it's just like this fucking guy is insane. Like he's doing all of this
Mhm.
for what? It's we don't even know. We have no idea.
Yeah, we
It's
don't even have his agenda yet. Yeah.
so yeah, I love everything that Yukinobo is doing with Count Saint Germain, and I think just the little we've seen of him, he's someone that I love to hate because every time he's Mr. Sanjome, I like he makes me want to strangle him with the fucking shit
Yeah. Yeah.
that he fucking says. He's like, hey, no working in no running in the halls, bro. You might get an ouchie ouchie, bro. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking? Why are you talking like that? Stop.
So so when I was so I'm currently writing my script for the Kazuki Knives, and I referenced earlier how like Saint Germain saw baby girl xenomorph, right?
Hmm.
Thick alien or whatever, like, hey, do you need this food? So it wasn't until I was like rereading it where he's actually in the place where Reiko Kashima was first discovered.
Yes. Hmm. Hmm.
And and I'm like, I wonder if Reiko Kachima is gonna like come in. I mean, we predicted like I think there's a good chance that we'll see her again. But like, I think it's really cool that like he ended up meeting this xenomorph chick there, and Reiko Kashima's like origin. I think that just adds like another layer of like, okay, who are we putting in a fight? The strongest yokai or Count Saint Germain? How's this gonna look?
Honestly, I'm
I don't
scared
know.
that Reiko Kashima is already fucking packed up. She's already done. That's how
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, dude.
dangerous Count Saint Germain is. But I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
know. But he did need
Yeah.
help with the fairy tale card, so there is that. So we don't know. But he's definitely there's a lot to him that we need to learn more of. But I think as far as goes, I really can't give him anything more than like a B or an A because again, we just don't know enough. But as far as we're just
Yeah.
ranking him off of like presence alone at this point.
Yeah, aura. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
What do you feel?
so you were saying B or A?
B or A? I feel like, yeah, personally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd say he's like, yeah, he's A.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm okay with that.
Gotcha, gotcha. And yeah, so we could definitely move on. The one thing that I do want to say too is I that one scene that you talk about, I feel like is almost like the undeniable proof that Count Saint Germain is the villain. Not even so much that the
Yeah.
space cur is the one that goes to fight Okarun to try and steal his powers, but also like if you don't see how just like sinister and fucking evil that man is being in that fucking scene where he's like, hey, you know, it's going to be pretty tough for you to live. I could help, but
Yeah, yeah,
who am I to do that? It's like so much of like
yeah.
a just like a clearly I hold the power, all the power in this situation. I know you're gonna say
Mhm,
yes, but I'm gonna still pretend like you have the choice in this matter. Like if you
mhm,
need any more evidence that this guy is clearly in it for his own selfish deeds, and him stealing the power
mhm.
from the fairy tale card when everything was said and done wasn't enough for you, there's that moment right there. Um,
Yeah,
but moving on, we've got Momo's friends, which I mean, like, sure, they exist, they're there.
here they are. Yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
uh, do you subscribe to the theory that everyone's kind of cooking up right now that they're gonna come back into the story during this Kozuka knife arc as villains? Like they're gonna be
Ooh.
brought back into it some way. I've seen that theory pop up a lot in the community.
No, but you know what? But now that like that one kid who bullied Okarun is like, he got, he had won the knives. Yeah, I think if we add some little emotional stakes here for Momo when she gets cured, yeah, I think that would be quite literally like a nail. Like, a nice stabbing, pun
Hmm.
intended, with these girls now being like villains or being used as pawns for Saint Germain, because you're right, like we didn't put it past them with like the Kerr who needed that like suit. It's like, okay, well, you want to go after Momo's friends. I mean, you kind of already foreshadowed that earlier, right? Go after
Definitely,
the loved ones. Yeah.
literally, and I
Yeah.
think oh,
But
go
I
ahead.
think prior to that moment, sorry to cut you off. Prior
No.
to that moment, I think if they're just like as is, like just I don't know, her friends, like I don't know, like D tier. I
Yeah,
don't know.
literally.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're just there. Like, I don't hate them, but they're not like really contributing to the
Yeah, they're
story,
not
you know?
meant to be, important characters. They're just there to make the world feel more lived in. Like Momo isn't just a loner that is supposedly popular but has no actual friends. Like they just exist to be, they just exist to be there.
Mhm, mhm.
Um and but yeah, no, because there was the mention, Mr. Murakami, the dude with the that was blackmailing all the women. He makes that one
Yeah,
that everyone's kind of
yeah,
harping on, is he makes that one, mention that, you guys aren't the only girls that like I've blackmailed, or Koki's not the only girl that I blackmailed. So a lot of people are theorizing that like they are also somehow
interesting.
involved in that sense, because Koki was being blackmailed and then she ended up getting the pygmies. So who's to say, the other
Yeah,
girls are being blackmailed, but they also didn't get powers of their own. It doesn't need, who know, that whole fucking organization seems fucked up. No one knows who's on the same side as who. You had fucking the one teacher is with the one teacher. They're about to, and she's trying to steal his power. And she's like, wait a minute, you have powers? It's like,
that's funny. Yeah, yeah.
it's like, it's so fucking ridiculous. I will let you, this is your girl. So
I mean, going off of looks, dude, that's S tier, man. I remember even in that when they were going through the Loch Ness monster and like we see her for the first time, I'm just like, goodness, hello nurse, man, just crazy. I think it's I man, you know what's fun about dandadan is like how these characters that we just thought they're one and done have now made a full circle and now they're going to do more, you
Mhm.
know? Maybe not subterraneans, but at least we got the nurse contributing in this story and how, she I don't know, has a lot of empathy for these kids. And now that like gave her this spiritual awareness to now see spirits and yeah, I mean there's something there. um but as a character, all jokes aside, is I don't know, I mean I don't think I can even put her like C B tier, right? If she contributes more to the story, I think she could be in that same situation of oh my god, Peony Weenie, right? Like okay, there's some potential there.
Yeah.
So and she's hot, so
Yeah, I definitely
I
think,
think Joking no Tatsu might do something with her.
if we didn't recently get like that whole like motivation of her character with like, oh, does her best she actually wants to help the kids, and she'll even go through the process of like going through like ghosts and exorcisms if that's what they actually need, and that's how she inadvertently like unlocked spiritual powers of her own. Like I do like that. I do think that's like, that adds a lot to her character, more than just like, gag nurse that is really against bullying. That was just like, that was like all she was at a certain point, and now she just has a little bit more motivation behind that. Yeah, I think C makes the most sense, at least Sir
Yeah,
Poen
yeah,
level.
yeah. Sure, sure. Yeah, it's fine.
And then you got Officer Bega. I think he's really cool for his little introduction.
Yeah.
Obviously, that comes mostly from his tied in backstory to Unji. I think if
Mhm.
anybody, I have a soft spot for like, like that kind of character that's willing to take on the delinquent kid that no one gives a damn about, and like even though he's a piece of shit, he works with him. Like I don't know if you read Tokyo Ghoul, but like I'm a big Shinohara and Juzo fan. Like I love just like the idea of like, like this kid's got no one, they fucking hate the world and they're gonna be a delinquent, and then you just got like the one good thing in their life that keeps them from actually being a fuck up. I enjoy that
Mhm.
dynamic, personally. So like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really like Bega for that. And the fact that he jumps into the Don Manra world just to, have a chance of helping Unji, I think is like, it shows like he's like, hey, fuck it, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'll help you. I'll help you. So
yeah, 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 yeah.
W
Yeah, I
W
think he's
adopted
a
dad in my book. But go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I think he's a solid B character. Yeah, there's if something happens to him down the road where he becomes a sacrificial lamb, right? Because they pass the torch, right, from like mentor to the young generation that we're rooting for, right? I think that death would carry weight, and I think a lot of people would be upset, and I think it would hurt especially more knowing how he almost wanted to take his own life, and then you really feel for him when he's like, but then I like remember my daughter, and this is like why I have to be the person who I am today. And I'm like, damn, like that shit fucking hit deep. Like, yeah, I love it, man. Um, Yeah, he's a good character, and you're right. Him showing up in the fairy tale in the Don Monroe arc, and you're like, dude, he has no powers, and he's
Yeah.
trying everything he can do. Like, yeah, dude, I think he's awesome. Yeah, I like him.
Badass, 100%. The fact that he even shows up in that little chapter that we just got like 10 or so ago, where he saves the teacher and fucking he goes to throw hands with the one dude, and he's like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to do this, and he dips out. Like, I'm like, dude, you got the fairy tale card, and you still fucking made that guy look like he still made him look
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
bitch. Like, it's so
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
The fairy tale card is like, oh my god, literally this guy. He was like, the Luffy to an L. He's like, bro, this is the one person I don't want to see. That's crazy.
Yeah, gotta
That's
gotta
crazy,
give it
dude.
to him. Gotta give him the B tier.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, girly. Hi, Sadie. So up next we've got Manjiro, who was kind of just like again another side character, in my honest opinion. I think it's funny that he like wants to be a YouTuber. He's one of us. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't really have much to say about him. I mean, like he's again, he's integral for the Evil Eye arc, and I mean, I give him
Mhm.
credit for being able to make the tough decision that no one else was, and he was like, hey, you know what? If you're not gonna exercise the Evil
Yeah.
Eye, then fucking I will, dude. You guys are out of your mind. But other than
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
yeah, maybe he'll be more relevant because I think he's gonna help Okarin train. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and if we go off of that, which I think we will see more of, then he's a C character. Like he doesn't bother me. He's fine. He had his moments in the Curse House arc where like he was putting up a decent fight or put up some resistance, but yeah, I don't know. I don't
yeah, literally, I completely agree. I completely agree. Yeah, no, I think like C D, uh, maybe D
Okay,
until
yeah,
further
put him
proven.
in D. Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah, I'm not
Honestly,
disappointed.
you know what? I'll give him a D because apparently he took fucking Evil Eye's underwear away, and that's why he can't use fucking the grief balls anymore. That would have came in fucking handy in the last fight. Fuck you, Manjiro.
Oh, that's interesting.
I didn't
That's
know that.
interesting.
Apparently, the amount of lore that like Yukinobu puts into those little volume extras is actually ridiculous
Mm,
because the amount of comments that I get like that
mm.
are people expecting me to know that when I'm like, dog, this was like a Japanese only volume extra. How am I supposed to know? Uh,
Yeah,
like
I literally didn't know until you said it. So yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Did you know that the jet booster cur was foreshadowed to be coming back from like chapter 70, like like right after the space globalist arc? Yeah, neither did I.
No.
Yeah, there
What?
was
Okay.
apparently like a little volume extra. I don't remember what volume it was, so I can't tell you exactly, but there was a volume extra of
And
like a scene of dialogue of the jet booster cur lying broken and beaten where she's found by Count Saint Germain. And like it's just like a
mm,
quick little
mm,
foreshadow panel. And it's like people are like, "Oh, she was foreshadowed. You didn't know?" I'm like, "No, I didn't. I'm sorry."
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like I said, because I my big complaints with the one chapter recently was like, why couldn't Evil Eye do like the grief ball? Why couldn't he do that? And people were like, oh, like
And
so many people were like, he lost his underwear. He lost his underwear. How don't you know that? I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't see the extra volume page that is like secret
mm,
that only the Japanese people
mm,
probably get. Like I can't
yeah.
I can't compete.
Hmm.
But either
Yeah,
way,
I didn't know the underwear was even tied to the grunge ball. So
neither did I. It's one of those
yeah.
things. One of those things.
Hmm.
But next up we have I think Kashimoto and then Payase. I know his name's Payase. I think his is Kashimoto, but they're Psycho's friends. I think they're cool. I don't know if I'd give them anything more than like C or anything like that because they haven't done anything else besides help her in the fight against the Iron Bull. But what they showed was actually
Yeah.
really cool. I like that there are other adults now that have spirit powers because it's always seemed weird to me that Seiko and Manjiro are like the only adults in the room sometime. I'm like, there's got to be other adults going through this shit, right? So it's nice that the
Yeah.
world got a little bit bigger with Psycho meeting up with these guys.
Yeah, and they definitely stood out too. Like I like their character designs, I like their abilities. I like how they I mean they're basically up there in terms of tier with Seiko. I mean I think Seiko's probably the strongest of the three, but like they assisted her in a super hard battle with that fucking Minotaur, right? Like that
Hmm.
was kind of crazy, like a one-sided battle for a very long time. Um yeah, I like them. It's crazy. I would say they're B, but like again, I keep on glazing everything we said about Vega, and I'm like, well, I don't know if they're not better than Vega to me as a character. They're just directly beneath him. So yeah, I think a high C, but I think there's really strong potential. I think I would like to argue B because I think they have some cool abilities, and I think we'll see more of them. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like very low B, high C
I would say,
for
yeah,
those
I
guys.
think low B. I think because, like I said, I think they do have big potential, and I think they will come back later and have a pretty big impact, especially
Yeah.
because Kashimoto had the fucking eye logo that fucking everyone
Yeah.
fucking has, and it's crazy to me. And I don't know that I feel like that has to be something that comes up at some point. I made a video on it a while ago, but like the one thing that dandadan hasn't explored, like it's explored, the occult, it's explored, like cultic rituals, yokai. It hasn't explored, or secret organizations or like shadow organizations. So like I'd be interested to see why Count Saint Germain is wearing the exact same logo, but upside, and then
Yeah.
Ludris and this guy are wearing it the downside way. Like, are there like factions and like some kind of war? Like, what the fuck is going on? So
Yeah.
I think there's more to them for sure, for sure.
Mm. All
Do
right.
you,
So
do
we
you
doing the
need to
C's
do you need
now?
to be out anytime soon? I just need to know if we need to
I
rush.
can I can do maybe another 30 minutes.
Okay, that's perfect. That's more than enough time. Okay, that's perfect. If it takes us longer, there's a problem. We're on
Okay.
the last stretch here with the protagonists. So we've got Koki Yuki
Mhm.
Shiro here. And like I said, we've kind of foreshadowed our feelings about her. At least I did. I really liked her inclusion. I thought her backstory
Yeah.
was great. I thought it made absolute sense, and I felt very bad for her that she got taken advantage of the way that she did. And I think her getting not only like a level of redemption, but like seeing her unlock her true power, which is Lord of the Flies with the piano playing,
Yeah.
was a fucking sick
Totally agree.
moment for her. And I'm excited to see what else she adds to the cast. 'Cause definitely one of those characters where comes out of nowhere, but Tatsu is able to make me care about her in such a quick amount of time.
Yeah. I think when, we were talking about the Busaman and how Rin is like fine, right? I
Hmm.
think what Koki I think what Rin could have been is what I got with Koki. And I think
Yeah.
that's why, like, Koki to me is like, you're right. I think Koki made a much better impression. And, it wasn't even the most messed up backstory. Like, it was a shitty situation for sure. But I'm saying compared to the rest of the ensemble cast, right? Like, she has made her stay. And I actually would love to see her dynamic with other people because where we are now with the story, I like how we had, with the Typhoon arc with like Gigi and Unji having their kind of like combo power and how Ira and Rin has their like abilities kind of fuse, right? So now show me Koki with any of these other people, and I'm actually excited to see what Koki could bring with
Hmm.
these people, right? Like I literally want to see how like she would interact with these other people. I wish I could say that about Rin. I just it's kind of whatever, right? Like she had her moment definitely in the Don Manra arc too, uh, with singing and all that shit. But I'm just like, eh. Like, yeah, but anyway, I'm shit talking on Rin. We can shit talk her in a second. I like Hoki a lot. Yeah, high B, low A, man. How you feeling about her?
I completely agree. I think B for right now, just because she is just freshly introduced, but I think she has the potential to be A for sure, without a doubt. I think if we get one more big moment with her, or we see where the development goes, I think she's an easy A. Honestly, we could probably put her at the bottom of A for right now. Um,
Sure.
she's a great inclusion to the cast. I'm very happy that she's going to be a mainstay as opposed to just getting kind of like we move on from her. I think she
Yeah.
definitely deserves her spot in a main cast. And I guess we could kind of just go right to Rin since we kind of just transitioned to her already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, as far as it goes, like I don't hate Rin as much. I think she's okay. I don't like it's kind of something like I don't really mind her. I think her ombudsman and her arc is probably the weakest Dandadan gets, which isn't a bad
Mm,
oh my god, what the hell? Okay, which
what?
isn't a bad no, I just probably doxed my entire history on accident. Whatchamacallit? I'm very confused. I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
We were talking about Rin, how like you don't hate her as much as I do,
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
and you
So
said the ombudsman. Yeah.
I think she's kind. I think the ombudsman is the weakest story arc so far. As far as it goes, that's not bad at all because I don't think it's a bad arc. Like you said, it's a cool set
Yeah.
piece and everything.
Yeah.
I'm interested just to see where her powers go because it was I think it was foreshadowed in like the last fight that it was like this is like the second or stage or like she's only at a second level. She can reach higher gravity
Yeah.
manipulation. I don't know. Yeah, she's kind of just there. I agree with you. Where I don't really care too much about her. She's kind of like an additional
Yeah.
character. Like I definitely think Koki is more powerful of an addition than Rin.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Where would you rank her then?
I
I
guess
don't know.
B, maybe C.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's a high C. I think a lot of people would hate me for that. And I'm like, yeah, she's fine. I mean, if you want to put her low B, that's fine, right? Like,
No, I think high C
I don't
honestly
hate
is
her as a
reasonable.
character. You know, the thing is, it's like, yeah, you're right. I don't necessarily hate her, but like when I compare her to everyone else, it's like, dude, she's easily dead last. Like, is it
Yeah.
crazy that I view Quinta higher than fucking Rin? And I don't like Quinta.
Oh, we're gonna have some
I
words,
don't like
bro.
fucking Quinta,
You're
dude.
talking shit about my king over here, bro. Talking shit about
Bro,
Kinta. No, I feel you. It's yeah, no, I definitely think like I just don't think Rin has much going for her character personally. Like her one like quirk is like she like has like that weird like vampire like is like thing
yeah,
like where
yeah,
she
yeah.
like and again like you said it's just kind of one of those things where it's like it just doesn't really work. It's not my type
Yeah.
of character. I'm sure this character works for somebody. That is not me. So
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Kinta, however, I like him more as a gag than anything. I like him ironically, if that makes sense. Like I think it's funny to
Yeah.
say that I
Yeah.
like him more than I actually do like him. Because
Yeah.
he really is
Yeah.
just a clown and a half.
Mhm,
And I
mhm,
think clown
mhm.
characters are funny as long as they don't take too much away from the story. And I don't think he's
Yeah.
gotten to that point yet
Yeah.
where he takes away from the story. I don't think he adds much, but I don't think he takes anything. I
Yeah.
haven't been annoyed by him yet. I've been more annoyed by the
Mhm.
Mai Kawabanga than I have been
Yeah.
by Kinta.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you made me think about that, but as soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah, I actually hate my Cowabingo, whatever the fuck her name. Yeah, she's really annoying. Um, yeah, man, I think that's how I would feel about Quinta until you said that too. It's like I don't like him, and when he's on screen, it's like, okay, the moment I would even start getting annoyed, that's when he kind of dips out to me.
Yep.
You know, it's
Mhm.
like, okay, he does a little gag thing, he does his quirk, you know, he's he likes the girls, you know, who doesn't like the women in this show, in this series, you know. Um and I know he's going to have a breakthrough moment. So I cannot wait until like maybe he'll still be like the jobber, you know, at the end of the series. But like for right now, he's fine. And you know, I think Yukino Utatsu gave him the fucking coolest, you know,
Yeah.
mecha thing out there. Because if he didn't have it, there would be nothing, you know, deemed worthy of his character. You know, so it's like I can't hate him because he's attached to something really fucking badass.
Yeah.
So, um, you know, yeah, he's B. He's
I
very,
agree.
very low B, man. I can't believe I'm even saying that about him.
I agree. I got to give him at least B. I will say I do like what he just had the fight that he just had with Okarun. I did like the
Mhm,
moment where
mhm.
like he was like I was holding a
Yeah,
paperweight in my pocket so I could fully understand like so he's improving like his nanomachine usage off screen.
yeah,
Like I do appreciate that. Like he's like yeah, I think like I said, and I think you hit the nail on the head where right when he's about to get annoying, he kind of is we move on. He hasn't
yeah,
reached that
yeah,
moment where he overstays. And he's usually pretty
yeah.
good with that.
Mhm,
We're not
mhm.
gonna do Okra. I don't know how they got ahead of everybody else. Holy crap. Ira is next. I think Ira is really
Bro.
cool. I like
Yeah,
her. I think I like her more than I would like Gigi. And I do like what Yukinobu is doing with her character now, where he's kind of pushing her off into her own thing as opposed to just liking Okaru now. Like she has
yeah,
her whole idea of being the leader of the group, which she kind of shows and is able to prove a little bit in that big fight where she has to basically take charge of Koki and Rin and kind of figure out what the fuck is
yeah,
going
yeah, yeah,
on in
yeah,
the
yeah,
basketball situation.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I do like the development that
yeah,
she's getting as a character, and I also kind of I think her character is I think her character is funny in a sense that she's super cutesy for Okaroon, and then the moment she talks to someone she doesn't fucking like, it's like an immediate fucking light switch, and she's just a fucking see you next
yeah,
Tuesday. Because not for
yeah,
nothing,
yeah,
there's so many fucking people that I know that are literally her in real life. It's insane. So it's
yeah,
like just a fucking bitch to everyone unless I can get something out of you or I like you. Then I'm super, oh my God, I'm the nicest person. It's just like it's so like not to be mean, but like it's just like it's like it's the way that Yukinobu does like the real character thing where like, okay, this is a trope, and also, but I'm gonna add in all of the Ira character backstory and her moments in the story to make her a fully fleshed out. But also at the same time,
mhm.
I can fully see this person existing in real life, and I wouldn't even double take.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Her moment with Okaroon facing off against the composers,
Hmm.
that was like the moment where I really started to dig her, and then you especially adding where she was the main role with Rin and Koki. Yeah, like I like her character. Everything about her is fine. You know, she's pretty cute too, and yeah, she's taking more of a leadership role in this ensemble cast, which is pretty hard to do because everyone's kind of like, you know, I mean, with the exception of fucking Rin and Quinta, right? Like everyone here can be the main character of their own story. And
Yeah.
I think that's really cool to say.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's A, yeah,
Yeah,
without a
A
doubt.
for sure. A for sure. I think from the moment she steps in, she's an interesting dynamic from the beginning. She's the when Momo fucking drops the pan on her fucking head because she's fucking trying to fucking take advantage of Okaroon. Love that. Up to the point where
Mhm,
she's
mhm.
convinced Momo's a fucking demon. And she fucking pulls her two poor friends into her whatever the fuck she was trying to do. Like she's just every time she's on
Yeah,
screen, she's an entertaining character. Um,
yeah, yeah.
as opposed to Gigi, it's interesting because I feel like Gigi, I do think I like his goofy attitude. But I like him more as the new strongest fucking protagonist member in the recent development. Like I think he serves his purpose much better than just being annoying goofy guy. And I even like the way that Unji has been checking him recently over the last course of the arc too, where he's just being like a fucking child about the Momo hanging out with him, and he's just like, hey man, like you're kind of fucking being a
Yeah,
loser. Like and I
yeah.
just love that like Unji is there to push Gigi into that because a lot of people have been complaining about Gigi and Ira lately because now that Okaroon and
Mhm,
Momo are kind of more solidified, it's like, what are we going to
mhm.
do with these characters that are just meant to be competition in love interests when there isn't really a
Yeah,
competition anymore? And Gigi is literally seeing that happen in real time, and it's a fucking plot point is that he is still just a hanging on love interest. And even Unji's like, dude, it's kind of fucking lame. You need to get your own thing. Ira, we have seen start to get her own thing, and Gigi has yet to have that development. So and I'm glad that that's what we're starting to get with the last couple of chapters is we're starting to see Gigi become part of his own person.
yeah, because there's a lot to like about Gigi. You're right.
Hmm.
So like when he's first introduced to where we are now, like again, I'm like writing the script for the Kazuki Knives arc. I just found it so like a bit off-putting and jarring that like Gigi just assumed Unji was like, I don't know, like capturing Momo, and like, there was problems when like Momo consistently with Okarun is like, bro, he's one of the good guys and you are really being insecure right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what the fuck is up your ass right now. This is not a good look for you, right? It's like the Gigi socks has definitely gone down. I would still argue I think he's an A character at the end of the day, but yeah, you're right. It's like, okay, he's been here now, but don't like, I don't know. I feel like he could fall off for me if he doesn't change his act. And maybe this is just a part of the character development and growth. But I would just argue that I'm surprised that we even have to talk about this at this stage in the narrative
Yeah.
with this character. When again, it's one thing if he does this outright to protect his friends, but like when your friends are saying, "Hey, this guy is cool," and you're still giving Unji problems, it's a bad look. Like
Completely.
now you're ruining the vibes.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's really insecure, it's really immature. And I do think, and the reason why, like, it's funny because like having this conversation, if it didn't seem like Tatsu was aware of this and actually integrating like that problem into the plot itself, I think it would be more of a critique. But like clearly, like not only is Tatsu aware of this, he's actively kind of seeming to make it a part of Gigi's growth and development, because you even see like towards the end of the Typhoon fight, you see how like Gigi and Unji, Gigi's unable to save Momo and Unji goes out of his way to save Momo when Gigi couldn't, and you kind of see Gigi's reaction there when he's like, oh, this person would risk their lives to save Momo, maybe I am wrong. So it's like you can kind of see like that's almost what Yukinobu's trying to do with Gigi. So I agree with A. I think he has, not only that, I think again with his, he's one of the first characters in the long string of new gen shonen to break their potential man shackles, which I think is just impressive in and of itself. We've always heard Gigi's the strongest spiritual guy. He has so much spiritual power, and like we've kind of seen it a little bit with the spirit gun, but like now we see it even more with the way that he's made that relationship with the evil eye. I think it's insane.
Sure. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Next up we got Unji, and then we got the last four characters, so we'll finish up by definitely 100%. So Unji, what are your thoughts on Unji? We kind of talked about his backstory already with Brella Boy, so I don't know if we need to elaborate so much on that. Obviously we both really do enjoy that. It gives so much to his character tremendously, as far as like adding to his backstory and why he is in the situation that he's in. But I think as a whole, like I just love his character. I think he's a perfect. I think the way that he bounces off all of the other characters, again, the way that he kind of corrects Gigi and kind of just isn't like, he's just not insecure. He's just very much like a secure dude who he's done some shit and he's kind of trying to turn a new leaf, and he's just a genuine good guy at the end of the day. And I appreciate him for that.
Yeah, dude, and he has fucking style, dude.
Yeah.
When you see that picture when he has the glasses and the longer hair, and it's like, bro, I remember people were talking about his fucking drip being unmatched, and I'm like, yes, I agree. Even to piggy off of what you said, yeah, dude, I think, dude, you know how we were just talking about like Gigi and like his imperfections. Unji doesn't have that. Like Unji, I think is perfect. He's a flawed character, but he has grown real quickly to his faults and is a better man. And every time I see him on screen, like he has little goofy, quirky moments, but with his character, I think it's perfect enough. Like he is, dude, he I don't know. Oh, man, maybe it's a hot take to say he's like, I was gonna say top 3, maybe top 5 for me, but like Unji, I really like Unji. Everything about him, his backstory, his fucking style, his fucking powers, I think is like, no, he's, I'm going to glaze him for an S, but I think he's definitely high A for me.
I completely agree 100%. I think Unji looks cooler, especially recently, next to Gigi, because I just feel like there's so many moments where like Gigi is just being a loser and Unji is just coming off like, it's like, dog, he's so much cooler than you. Like you just can't compete. Like, like it's just is. And like, he's just, and like, and yeah, like he's just a genuine character. Like I do appreciate him being back into the story because I really did like what he did for the Don Manra arc. Um,
Mhm.
I liked his friendship with Momo, and I thought that was really great. I think it's funny that Gigi is like again threatened by Unji when like Unji's like, bro, like I'm not even like trying to like be with Momo. I just want to be her friend, and here you are worried about that in general. It says a lot about you that that's the first thing you thought of when you saw me, as opposed to I'm just cool with this person and we're friends. So
Yeah, yeah, and there was that moment in the Don Manra arc when when they finished fighting the Medusa or whatever, and they stay in that like village, and Momo like says like I love you, and I remember the whole fandom was thinking like she said it to Unji. It's like guys, use some fucking context clues. Like no, she didn't say it to Unji, but I like how like Unji's like, oh wait, she said something to, or like he's kind of like, wait, what'd you say? But then they don't even flirt with that idea. And that's why I also love the Don Monra, because the entire time, even after that moment, he didn't look at it like, does Momo like me? Like, because any other mangaka could have easily fucking created some fucking potential like love triangle, and then
yep,
Unji at the end of the day figure out, oh, you weren't talking about me, it was Okarum, but it's okay. I still love you as a friend or appreciate you as a friend. No, bro, Unji's that fucking mature and so fucking cool. Is like, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. I don't think she meant it about me. And I'm just gonna keep on doing me.
yep.
And that was never brought up again. And I'm
And
just like, bro, it just the Unji glaze is fucking unreal now that I'm talking about it. It's
to
like,
your
no, bro,
point,
he's
it's
yeah.
true. It's true because I feel like there's even another moment where he does it again, where like he puts his powers on, and that's when like the other personality almost takes over, and he kind of grabs her, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she's like, "Stop that! Like that's not even what it is." And he's like, "I'm sorry. Like I can't. I'm not in control of myself when I do that stuff." So it's like
Yeah.
Tatsu literally goes out of his way multiple times to be like, "This is not what is going on with these characters," and I do like that. Like it's very much apparent. um
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just good for like it's going towards the whole like these people can just be platonically friends. It literally doesn't
Yeah. Yeah.
have to be anything extra to it than that.
Yeah, which is why going back to Gigi a little bit, it's like weird that like that hasn't been cemented yet with his
Yep,
character. It's like, bro, you're clearly now just the friend, And
yep,
and we know like and it's okay to like be friends with your ex and like really like love her as a friend and someone you look out for. Like I think that's mature too. But yeah, when like Unji kind of calls him out in that like typhoon arc, it's like, bro, it come on. It's a bad look now.
yep,
you know?
exactly. You're making yourself look foolish. It's great. He's like, I don't even have to do anything. I don't even have to respond to you. Like you're literally hanging yourself right now.
Yeah.
But let's move on because I know you got to go soon. We've got Seiko, who I don't know if even if it's an argument to just put her in S, but like she is one of the best
Yeah.
characters in the series for me. Um,
Yeah.
I absolutely love her. She works perfectly as that mentor guide character, but also at the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
time, I love her approach to where she's like, look, you know what? Like, I can help you, I can give you the knowledge, but I can't fight your battles for you. You have to go off, and we have to let the youth grow up eventually at some point. So I
Mhm.
do love the fact that she's that kind of character. She's that kind of parent, and she also trusts her granddaughter and Okrun enough to but she also is more than willing to throw in help when she needs to, like when she shows up during the evil eye arc and everything like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love her character
Yeah.
as a whole. She's fucking awesome. I
Yeah.
love anytime she's on screen and she's throwing hands or fighting. She's one of my favorite characters. And I hope she pulls through because I would
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
be
Same here.
fucking lost if we didn't have Seiko.
Same here. Yeah, 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 dude. It's and then seeing her finally shine like by herself in the Kozuki Knives arc, I think was so
Hmm.
cool. And of course, doing it in a fucking pencil skirt, mind you. Good lord, she is so freaking fine, dude. Yeah, I like her character and I like even though we don't see it, but when Momo tells Okarun that like, yeah, she misses Turbo Granny. It's like, yeah, she has
Yes.
a soft side. We know she has a soft side, but I like that's something I desperately want to see too. I want to see more of that dynamic of Turbo Granny and Seiko if we get that on screen, you know.
Agreed. Agreed. I want to ask you something, not to extend it too much, but I'm curious just because it's a theory that I've had for the last, couple of months now. Do you
Mhm.
think her whole fortune telling future sight thing is ever going to come back into play? Or it's something that has like been like subtly been going on in the background? Because she was introduced as like the fortune teller Santa Dodoria that was able to correctly tell this dude's entire fortune to a T on point, and then
Mm,
that was never brought up ever again.
right. That's
And there is
right.
also there's select moments in the series, specifically when Gigi first shows up, where Okarun kind of has that moment where he's like, "Oh shit!" Like Momo's first love is here, and instead of saying anything, like Seiko is just kind of like, "Yeah, man, you kind of gotta step it up a little bit." Like it's almost like the way that Seiko has been, where she's that guide, but she's not hands on. She's kind of just pushing everyone in the right direction. Almost like it's like there's people that think like maybe she can see the future a little bit. She's just
Mm,
guiding everyone down the correct path as much as she can without directly interfering. Same
yeah.
way when Okarun first showed up, she knew, she was like, hey, she literally almost like she knew, yeah, you guys can do this. Don't worry, you're fine. I already kind of know what's going on. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Curious what you think about that.
Mm. I never pay that any mind. Like, I've actually never thought about that. So that's an interesting reframing of her character. I think if there's something that can like slowly or subtly like show that some more, and then it becomes like manifested into a thing, and then we reread the series and now it's all kind of there. I think that would be a huge like gotcha moment that I can't believe I never thought of. So I don't want to rule it out, but if it
It just makes
were
me ask, like, what was Count Strange Domain? What was the Iron Bull trying to steal from Seiko? What yokai
yeah.
power does she have?
Oh
Like
wow.
that's the
Wow,
only
I
thing
didn't
that
even think
I
about that either.
question. You know,
I didn't even think about that either. Yeah,
because
yeah.
when
Oh
he
my
tried to
god.
steal Okarun's yokai power and Turbo Granny wasn't there, he said, "Oh fuck, I have nothing to take." So if
Yeah, yeah,
Seiko
yeah,
is
yeah.
just spiritually, inclined with no yokai, what is he trying to
Mm,
steal from her?
wow, I can't, dude. And I just read this arc. I don't even know why I didn't think about that. Like, yeah, what powers is they trying to take? You know, like
It's
we know her being taken away or being held hostage is like would be useful for the bad guys. You know, to barter for Momo and Okarun. But yeah, I didn't think about it like that before. Yeah, so
it's a
yeah,
question.
interesting.
Mhm,
Hmm,
Something
hmm.
to think about. But last but not least, is Momo and Okarun. I mean, yeah, I mean, both of these characters, in my opinion, probably S tier. I don't know if you want to
Yeah,
say A, but I mean, without a doubt, yeah,
yeah,
they do everything right. Momo is my fucking one is definitely my favorite over Okarun personally. There's so many
yeah.
moments where Momo says something, and I'm like, you are some of the fucking coolest fucking characters I've seen. I love when she's fighting the Cur, and she's just like, she literally is like, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass right now to the fucking main Cur leader, and I'm like, yes, girl. Do
Yeah.
you? I fucking love that shit. Kick this motherfucker in the
Yeah.
face. And I just
Yeah.
like, yeah, she's just a super cool character. I'm excited to see what Count Saint Germain wants from her, and what that my mind keeps saying Idris Elba. Why do I keep thinking about that? It's the id Cosmos, the id
Mhm.
Cosmos. Like I think that obviously has something to do with whatever state she unlocked in the first episode, and like has been unable to reach since. I definitely think that that is something that might have to do with dandadan as a whole, whatever she's special for or whatnot, who knows. But I think
Mhm, mhm.
she's got some big stuff hiding that she doesn't even know about. Because we don't even know what the fuck her parents are. I don't know. I don't know if anybody has parents in this
Mm.
entire fucking series besides Gigi. Or the fuck are Okarun's mom and
Yeah,
dad? Who knows? This guy just does whatever
for
he
real,
wants.
for
Anyway,
real. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, they are a package, and I think that's why I love Don so much. I saw this podcast, that had Valkyrie. She's some podcast she's with Ludwig's girlfriend,
Yes.
and it was Imaru. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. So Imaru was like the guest host, and they were talking about like anime and just shows, and they were talking about like dandadan. They're like, oh, like you should watch dandadan, and then they all kind of unanimously agree that like yeah, like. Well, I think one was into it. The other two quickly dropped it because of the first episode,
Yeah.
and that's really like but I don't want to like say they're wrong for that, and
Hmm.
I think that's what like really bothers me when I read that first chapter too. And then you see the first anime and how a lot of people had a lot of like negative buzz, rightfully so, because it's like, yeah, this is and even I told my sister too, who's like slowly getting into anime, like dandadan is like really good. And then she's like, yeah, but I couldn't get past that like episode one in the first chapter. And it's like it's even more graphic in the first
Yeah,
chapter. And
they oh my god, I felt like the anime fucking added so much addition. I was like they added so much to the scene like that they did not need to.
yeah,
They made it
like
so
dude,
much
they
worse.
gave they gave fucking Momo fucking, you know, jiggle
They had the
physics.
fucking
And
Serpo literally like fucking put her in position and I was like, "Bro, what are we doing?" Like
yeah, dude. And when see and that's why it's like hard to even explain it out loud, because like I remember the manga too, they're like, oh, I'm gonna touch your head and make you feel pleasure and all this stuff. But man, when they added those sound effects and you see her fucking moving in the anime, I'm like, this is really hard to
mhm.
like defend. And again, I'm not defending it, but this is all to say, when you get past that, and I think maybe there's like one or two weird moments like that too. The series is so like beloved, and I think it does like this romance of like Okarun and Momo so well that I feel like many other anime couldn't have done right. And maybe
Yep.
I'm comparing apples to oranges too, but it's like, I am shameless into watching Rent a Girlfriend for all the wrong reasons, right? Just because I want to see like, is this fucking pussy going to fucking have the balls to grab this girl and say I love you or take her out or hey, be my girlfriend, etc. And even though I know how it has gotten close, right, with that like one chapter where I'm sure you heard it,
Oh yeah.
where nothing happens, it's like, but things happen between Okarun and Momo, and even though it's still like this little tease, it has still progressed so much that I am rooting for them, and I
Mhm.
cannot wait for Momo to get her form back. And then, like, again, we'll see where Don Don goes next. But like now, Momo and Oakroom finally kiss, or they confess, or they publicly say, "Hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend because we said I love you," like fucking 3 arcs ago. Like I cannot wait for that, and I think it's just such a. It really is like wholesome. It sounds a little cheesy. It's like, but I love that. And then you're right. I love how each of them have so much resilience and determination to like be the best that they can by themselves, because it's more about them. It's way
Yeah,
more about them. It's about like the people that they love at the end of the day.
definitely.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okarun is really cool. Like when he has that moment where he's like, "Oh, I was trying to secretly work out so I could get stronger for you," and like their romance is just so it's believable too. Like even like in the anime, I think they just had the scene where like they're in the back of the car and like Mo was kind of like just playing with his. It's like I'm not really the biggest fan of romance stuff sometimes, but like their romance is so genuine and honest. And like you said, you kind of have like a root. Like I want to see these characters get
Yeah.
together because you can tell they have that level of chemistry. Like it's just yeah. Um, yeah, I genuinely think like Momo is an awesome character. I think Okarun is an even better character. I don't care what anyone says. I enjoy this new trend of like kind of like less than like like not perfect anime MC. I feel like we've had like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and all the other
Sure.
animes where like these MCs are so capable from day one. Whereas like now we're starting to see MCs that are kind of just like, you know what? This guy's kind of a nerd. He's kind of a loser, but he's gonna fucking do his best to fucking, make the most of it. And I kind of appreciate that. It's a different take on an anime MC. So I do love it. I love Okarun. And I love Momo. I probably have more to say. I'm sure I don't know if you do or not, because I know you want to get out of here soon. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. But
No, no, no. You're good. You're good. Yeah, Okarun as a character, I think has definitely earned my good graces over time. I think again he definitely stood out in spoilers, the space globalist. when he got his ass thrashed by the entire group. That was brutal to see. And that's the
Yikes.
other thing too, is like, dude, my boy is catching so much fucking strays, dude. When is this man gonna catch a goddamn break? To see what he has become. And then I even liked in the beginning of the Kozuki knives when, that one fucking dick is like, hey, like, pair up with me so I can look good in, this PE class. And then like Okrun is like, he's faster, can throw like a fucking
I love
javelin or
that
what
fucking
was it? Like,
moment.
yeah, long jump and whatever. Just like, dude, I like how like, yeah, all these experiences he has gone, even without his powers, he's now reached like this new base level because of all the shit he's been through.
Ah,
And I
my
think that's
boy's
super
becoming
cool.
Toji. You love to see it. You love to see
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think one of the questions too is like, okay, this is like Okarun and his Turbo Granny form has just been so synonymous with this series.
Mhm.
Where is Yokinobu Tatsu going to go with this now that Turbo Granny has gotten her powers back, right? Like I would love to see Turbo Granny just full powers unleash, go crazy. But it's like, what's going to happen with Okarun, right? It's
Mhm.
kind of like again, apples to oranges comparison. It's like Gon losing all his powers in Hunter x Hunter. How much do I still care about him, right? Like I like him, but like we're not going to see Okarun without spiritual powers now. Like I don't know, like
You think he's gonna go down the
we'll
Sun
see what happens.
Wukong route like everyone's theorizing right now? He's got the Ringju Juju Bong or whatever the fuck it's called, and he's gonna fucking just have a fucking pole staff and start fucking people up with it.
That's crazy. So, yeah, man.
He
So
got the little
you're right, and
club,
I
but
think I like that too. You mentioning like these protagonists that aren't overly fucking powerful or just badass off rip. It's like no, and I think that's why dandadan has probably maybe has become this phenom. I mean, the anime has definitely helped, but like, yeah, dude, I get excited reading in the week to week, and it's like, damn, dude, there's still so much I can get
agreed.
excited about with this series.
Yeah, literally, we just got to make sure people stop for some reason thinking it's fucking goon shit because of the first fucking episode. Whenever anybody tells me that, I'm like, dude, I can't. How did you come to this opinion? Like you
Yeah,
said, like Don Don's probably one of like in my opinion, it's one of the more respectful series that are
I
currently
know.
ongoing. So it's like when people like or people will bring up the first episode and then they bring up that one moment after like the Serpo Nessie when they're like in the class hallway like naked and they're like
Yeah,
see and
yeah,
I'm like dude those are literally the only moments in the series and that's
yeah.
done for a gag. It's done for it's not even done in like a sexual way. It's literally done as a gag and it's like it's yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's the same thing when people say Chainsaw Man is goon shit. It's like, dog, whatever. If you don't like if it's too much for your delicate sensibilities, that's fine. you know, but
You know what it is, to quickly ramble real quickly? I think it's God, this is gonna sound, this is way off topic, but there was a study, I don't know if you saw it, where they're like, here's the 10 hobbies that like women love in men. It's like reading and like fucking learning a language and playing a guitar. And then there's like, here's the 10 things that women hate that like guys do. And then there's like, like I don't know, like gambling and fucking being an alpha bro. But like, reading was like number one on the things they're most attracted to. But then like reading comics was the number one thing that they hated, followed by like anime number three, right? And they just lumped in anime. And I think even cosplay had a separate category, believe it or not. But this is all to say, like, I understand from someone who doesn't watch anime when you tell me as an adult that you like anime. Yes, I could think maybe you're immature or you have not grown up because of that. But if you can also reframe it differently or just realize that arguably, and I'm sure maybe you might have the same opinion too, anime has like quite literally some of the best fucking stories of all time.
agreed.
And because that you don't want to like really see past fucking animation or illustrations with fucking words, that like it's too immature, like I'm sorry, you're fucking missing out. And
Hmm.
then this can really go to the meme of like, hey man, I lift and I am a better person because I watch fucking Naruto and One Piece, you know? And I feel like I have better morals and ethics than a lot of people
Yeah,
because of anime. So don't tell me my shit is immature and you're watching fucking Love Island. Okay. Like, I don't
literally.
care. I
Yes.
literally don't give a shit about your opinion when you say that.
Everybody has
So,
slop that they like, and it's just like, yeah, like you said, it's like there's such goodness to be pulled from anime that like it's I mean, it's the same thing when people are like, "Oh, like you play video games?" Like, "Yes, dog, I play fucking video games because I enjoy it." And you know what? Like it's this whole thing of like, yeah, we could go on a whole tangent, but I don't want to.
yeah,
But
dude, yeah, I know, I
yeah,
know, I know, I know.
yeah, but in my
Yeah,
opinion, to end it off with, like, it's always, in my opinion, the people that are shouting the loudest from the rooftops, like, "Oh, don't watch this because it's goon stuff. Don't watch this because it's whatever." When it's really not even close to it, that are the people that I end up side eyeing the most, almost always, because it's like, why are you telling me acting like this is the most brave take when it's actually the most lukewarm take that you could probably ever have, like.
yeah.
So
And you know what's fascinating now, even to add to that, is that people already making that take don't even want to put in the time to fucking learn about it.
yeah, exactly. That's
So it's
literally what it
like, so
is.
why do I give a shit on what you have to say? Like, because like, okay, I guess you fucking know all, so then fucking buzz off, you know?
Like,
Yeah,
no,
it's kind of stupid.
yeah,
So
No, you're good. It's not at all. I completely hear what you're saying. Rinatoshi was mentioned in the fucking chat, and it just completely derailed my thought process.
really so. Well,
Fucking
I
Rin,
heard some
bro.
people shitting on Rent a Girlfriend. No, I agree, guys. I'm telling you, I'm a degenerate. I don't know why I watch this show. I literally look at it and I'm like, please just fucking tell her you love her. Holy shit, how are we this far and nothing has happened? It's
Yeah,
so stupid.
I don't understand how people read that. That's like, I don't know.
Uh, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
let's call this quits. Before we get into 18,000 other tangents, I'll have you here all night. Um,
yeah, of
so
course.
we completed the Don to Don tier list. I think we did pretty good job. We might have been a little bit too liberal with the S's, but honestly, I think everyone that's in the S has a reason to be there. So I
Sure.
don't think it's bad at all. Do you have any final comments that you want to leave everything with? Anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to end the stream with? You can make it all one big amalgamation.
No, no, no. It's all good. Can I just say, looking at this tier list, man, I love how high Unji is. I just
Agreed.
love that he's basically there. You know, man, the glaze is crazy. The glaze is crazy. I kind of want to put him in S tier, but you know what?
He'll get
Keep
there
him there at high.
when
Keep
he
him
gets
high.
his
He's A
eyesight
plus
back.
plus. You know,
When he gets
it's
his
fine. Yeah,
eyesight
yeah, yeah,
back.
yeah.
I
But
mean, man was throwing
uh,
hands with people literally blind on a plane, so that's also leg ups for him. But
yeah. But no, this has been a blast. You know, I mean, I plugged myself many times, so you know, you guys know where to find me. And yeah, go support No Operator. He's one of the best in the business. So.
oh, you shouldn't have. I appreciate that. Thank you
Mhm.
so much as always. I always appreciate you coming on. It's always a pleasure and it's always a great discussion. Go subscribe
Yeah.
to DJ Miles. His information will be in the description. And guys, everyone have a great rest of your night. Appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.